minutes anyway.
Yeah, well, no, but it's I can't lie. I'm trying to remember who the hell I invited to this thing. So like I got you guys,
Joker,
and
TFM, and us, I believe.
Joker, yeah, Turd Flinging Monkey, and then Sandman's going to join us too.
All right, good.
Yeah,
Sandman too, sweet.
So what you been up to, faggot?
Nothing. And there went the monetization, and it's just.
Why was you live early then, man?
No, but it's just, God, Jesus. No, I've been up to nothing. Oh, shit, there went the phone.
I did not mean to demonetize you, man.
See, we're already started. I'm going to go get some booze.
Look, I'm going
Wait,
to...
Are you guys in the same room together?
Yeah, we're in the same room. You want some Quim?
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a Quim.
All right, he drink his vaginal Quim.
All right, he'll be right back. He's going to the fridge.
I'm glad we made this so I could like share it with everybody. How you been, Popp?
I'm all right, man. Just a little bummed out. My kids are being stupid.
Well, is that normal stupid teenage crap, or is it like irregular stupid?
It's kind of a little on the irregular stupid. So we'll see what happens.
Well, they got the best dad in the world.
Well, you would think.
Yeah, you freaking kill anyone if they ever crossed her or them. Like, don't you have you got daughters, right? Or you have a son? All right, there ain't no boys.
No.
Oh God, that's proof God exists, because he would punish you with a bunch of daughters.
Yeah, I've been tempted to kill some motherfuckers.
Let it never be said that the good Lord does not have a sense of humor. After all, just look at the platypus. That's all.
Listen, all I can say is the world better hope that I never go off the deep end, because it'd be bad.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but think about this. You were at the deep end before, but look at how far. Like, think of all the what are we up to? 400 guys you saved their lives.
I think 375.
We're about there, yeah.
Yeah, 375.
375. Right. Think about that. Like, it's not because you're military, but like, you guys ever see not John Wick, black dude, Man on Fire?
Oh yeah.
Man on Fire, great movie.
That's a good
Blake,
movie.
you ever
Based on a true story.
I've never seen Man on Fire, but I did see the more recent one. Same writer as John Wick, and it's Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul. It's called Nobody. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen it yet.
That movie kicks serious ass.
Nobody,
yeah. Christopher Lloyd plays his dad.
Do you have it on Blu-ray?
I got it on 4K streaming, yeah.
Wait, Christopher Lloyd, we talking Doc from...
Hell yeah, we're talking Doc.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, great Scott.
Hang on, I got to write this down. Jesus Christ. You freaking old timers.
Yeah, no, What's Her Nuts, who got all kinds of naked in The Devil's Advocate, Connie Nielsen. She plays his wife. And that woman smashed into the wall face first with no regard for physics.
Wow.
She came out the other side. She's still brushing cement residue out of her hair.
God damn, that's brutal.
It's pretty bad.
I love it.
So, all right, Chris Lloyd, Nobody.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody.
You guys see not Angst of Man. It was a Jason Statham movie. Wrath of Man. You guys see Wrath of Man?
No, I've seen it.
Dude, it's like Man on Fire, but 2021.
Okay.
It's a good flick. I'd absolutely see it. Yeah.
And with a surly, gravelly Australian instead of Denzel Washington.
Well, but the only thing is that what's his name? Jason Statham is an Australian. He's Cockney. Oh, mate. Yeah, he's
always kind of said it to me like he was Australian, but it could be wrong.
No, he's not Australian. No, he's definitely UK.
Okay. Oh, that's right. His first movie was Snatch, wasn't it? And Guy Ritchie's.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie. Yep.
You know, he actually wrote the entire character that Brad Pitt plays in that movie. You know, somebody with such a thick Cockney accent that no one can understand him, as a direct response to his film critics saying, well, all the accents in this movie are so fucking thick, no one can understand these people.
Wasn't it not the Untouchables? What was the one that Sylvester Stallone did? There's like 3 of them out there.
Expendables.
The Expendables.
Yeah.
Like, they play off of that because Jason Statham is in that. He's in all 3.
Yeah.
And there's one where Harrison Ford, like Jason Statham's calling in air support, and Harrison Ford's like, I can't understand what the hell this guy is fucking saying. Like, what the hell?
I love how they didn't even attempt to try to be meta when they explained Bruce Willis's absence away. You know, Harrison Ford shows up and they're like, "What happened to Church? Church is out of the picture." Well, no shit. He wanted apparently like $1 million for working 3 days on the movie, and they were like.
So Blake, you never seen Man on Fire with Denzel Washington?
No, I didn't.
No, I've seen it. It's based on a true story.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies ever.
I know it's Tony Scott, and Tony Scott and Denzel made some damn good movies together. His remake of Speaking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 was really good too.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I'll have to watch that. I haven't seen that one yet, but I totally liked Man on Fire because like the guy's got nothing left, and he just they kidnapped the wrong person.
Yeah,
he goes after him, and that's what I was gonna say. Pop is like one of the cooler things about that movie is he gets taken down. Like they kidnap the girl, and he goes off and he takes out 7. And one of the greatest things about or scenes about that movie is the guy comes up to him and it's like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" He's like, "How many did I get?" Like, that's the first thing he asks. "How many did I get?" Like, "You got 7." He's like, "Good."
Hell yeah.
I'm like, I'm almost like, you know, and that was kind of like this ballpark, you know, earmark level. I got like, how many did I get? If I can get 7, then I'm John Creasy, you know?
Yeah.
And Pop, you've saved 400.
It's not 400 yet.
Almost.
Well, not, yeah, but I mean, I ain't ever going to come that close.
Well, if you included the lives of dudes that were in your battalions and whatnot, who made it through different engagements and stuff because of the shit you taught them, I bet you're well over 400 to 500.
I don't know. I don't have their testimonies.
Right, but here's another thing. Like the most basic score: how many people did you prevent from killing themselves? Is, you know, outing themselves. All right, so that's 300 before you leave this planet. It's going to be 400 minimum. How many lives you just improve a little bit, you know, or significantly? I mean, we're talking thousands by this time.
I have no idea.
I mean, you helped me, but you also made me a little bit miserable too, because you taught me the truth, and now I'm like, now I can't unsee this shit. Now I'm pissed all the time. You rat bastard.
I'm sorry.
Like I was cheeking the red pill, and you're like, no. You wanted to swallow that shit like a good little bitch.
Tell the truth, man. That's all I do.
All right, can you guys help me out a little bit here? I invited Turd Flinging Monkey, right?
Turd Flinging Monkey, Joker, and Sandman. I believe that's it.
That's it. You guys, Turd Flinging Monkey, Joker, and Sandman. All right, let me double check.
Sandman's awesome. We had a blast with him on our show.
Did you guys have him on?
Yeah. He was actually one of our first guests, and that was where the whole
whoa. Hang on. I think Joker, you got to plug in your headphones or something like that.
Yeah, I think his speakers were on feeding back.
He's old, you know. Don't mock your elders here.
All right,
I'm sure Popp is older than he is.
Is that better?
How you doing, Joker?
Good. Do you have any echo or anything bad?
No, we're good. Hey, TFM.
Hello,
Man,
that is what you call an avatar right there.
Hey, that is. I got to give that a.
thank you.
Although in real life, if that chick were real, this is what I'd be wondering.
Total Cox.
There you go.
They do make them with like she-male inserts if you swing that way.
Oh no, I think I'm good.
Nasty freak.
Whatever, I don't judge.
I'm gonna go shake that one off.
I know what I like about this outfit is that we're all ahead of schedule. We're all like 20 minutes early.
You know what? Here's the thing. It takes me time to look pretty. It really does. So I can make sure the lighting's good and everything like that. And
I like how you did your hair today there, Joker. That's
you know something. You'd be surprised. I put more time into my hair than most people. Most people go into a barber, they're done in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I put in at least 2 minutes a day forever. So
yeah, totally. I mean,
where you at? You down south of Florida at your folks' place?
What's that now? Yeah. Yeah, what I did is so Dad's got Parkinson's and
Right.
he's got dementia. So I kind of stuck around here while I was building the bus, drove the bus kind of around the country. Transmission went out on me twice. And after the second time, I'm like, look, diesel's $4.50 a gallon. I'm getting 8 miles, lucky 8 miles downhill with a tailwind. Otherwise, it's like 5 miles to the gallon.
Jesus.
But I just tucked it away. I got a little tiny camper. I cashed out some of my crypto and got a little tiny camper that I could tow around. Then I did like 16,000 miles over the course of the next 2 months to look at areas I wanted to live in. And then I came back here to check on him, see how he's doing. Because he's 87 this year. So,
Jesus.
you know, you got X amount of time to spend with loved ones. And then you say, yeah, you know what? So, yeah, so I came back here. I'm checking on them. And then August 27th is when my lease in Bozeman, Montana starts. I'm going to go up there, look around some property. And then I'm also coming probably out to South Dakota, North Dakota to check let's see if I can get this right, the southwest corner of North Dakota or the northwest quarter of South Dakota, if that makes sense.
Why there? There's not really a lot there.
Exactly.
That's the secret sauce.
That's it. You know, there's the thing is like Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, those areas where there is nothing. I mean, it's like grassland, or in Wyoming, it's stone. It's like crushed pebbles. Like and same thing with Arizona. So I'm going to come check out the Dakotas. And I don't know. There's just part of me that's like, I don't think I can live in Kentucky because then I have to say I'm in Kentucky. And for me, I've just got this weird thing where other than like some booze from Kentucky, I don't know if I can do that or not. But
Tennessee's good.
Yeah, you know, I've heard good things about Kentucky, Tennessee, and a couple of other areas kind of right around there, northern Alabama and Mississippi. But there's so much land to check out, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So, and land has gone nuts. But I'll tell you something. With everything that's going on, like they just ended the moratorium on rent payment and mortgage foregoings. So we're going to have 6-8 million people dumped maybe out of their houses because a lot of these people were living large because they're getting government checks for not working and they're not paying the rent. Yep. So if they get all dumped out, you know, I'm hoping there will be some land and some properties that I can maybe pick up, or unless BlackRock unloads 2 in the back of my head, and then I won't have a chance at any property.
Well, I'll tell you what though, I saw that video on your bus, and if you do find a piece of property and you put in a septic tank, you park that motherfucker there and just keep it there.
Yeah, the only problem is, so the well's good. If I got a well, if I got septic, and my solar is enough for the bus. But the only downside is the insulation's only about R15. So that little wood stove I got is good for maybe 25 or 30 degrees. If I have to chuck wood in that thing pretty constantly. Once you get down below there though, so, you know, that cuts out probably the northern half of the United States if I'm going to do the bus, but we'll see. You know, at this point, I've got a little bit of time and
build like an insulated garage.
Well, so what I was thinking about doing is if I can get enough money for I'm not financing anything. I'm just doing cash because I do have cash available. I don't want to hold on to just cash because with the inflation going up, the cash value just goes down. I don't trust the stock market right now. I've got plenty of it in crypto and I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So I say I'm going to put it all in land. So after I buy the land, I'm probably not going to have much left over, but I'm hoping to pour a good thick slab and do like a 3-bay garage, have someone come in, spray foam insulation. And then I'd like to frame it out with wood and drywall and all that and make it a little,
Where?
kind of like a layer, you know, and then I can live in that until lumber hopefully comes back down sometime soon. And but I don't know. I mean, man, I'm watching this news and the way they're going authoritarian in Australia's gone off the chains. Canada's gone nuts.
Oh yeah.
Germany, I'm watching cops punch 12-year-olds in the face. I'm just like, what in the hell's going on? You know, when somebody came on my channel a year ago and they're like, oh man, just look at the Great Reset. I'm like, okay. Now I'm like, man, I wish I paid attention to that shit because it's legit. It's crazy.
Well, what Joker? I'm kind of curious. Like, can't you just buy property and you got your bus, right? I mean, that's your lodging as long as you, I guess, septic tank or something else like that. Or I mean, like you could
septic and water, I'd be fine, and I could get power run to it. But you have to have a building to put the meters and everything else on. So I can't run it straight to my bus. I've got enough solar on there, but again, it gets down to if it gets down below 30 degrees freezing, that bus takes so much that, I mean, the wood stove literally is well, it's like 11 inches by 11 inches by 11 inches. So the biggest piece of wood you can put in it's about the size of a phone, and it'll burn for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then temperature drops. I could maybe try anthracite coal. I've looked at a couple options, but keeping that baby warm all winter, man, that's gonna. I don't know if I can pump out enough heat out of that little. It was just meant for chilly nights at 50, 60 degrees. It wasn't meant to make it.
Well, what about bivouacking down south? Are you thinking more long term? Like,
well, I mean, if I came down south bivouacking, I just stay here at my parents.
Right.
And I hate to say that as a 49-year-old man, but I'm also doing work around the house for him and helping him out with stuff. So, I could buy property here in Florida. The thing is, I know someday this house is going to be mine. And I don't want to buy a property here and then have this property. I'd like something up north where I can go skiing and where I can go mountain bike riding.
Whatever you got to do, Brokeback Mountain there, Joker. Yeah. You and Popp up there having a good old time.
Yeah.
I combine horseback riding with bike riding, and I'm like broke bike back. So I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Maybe look into Nevada. Nevada has cheap property prices. You're not too far from skiing, and you've got different climates. Yeah, you got different climates. You can go up and down. If it's too cold, you just drive south. Drive down a bit. If it's too warm, you just drive up. Right. So
I look into that. I don't know how blue they are down there. I love my guns, so I'll have to check into the laws of that.
Nevada's still the Wild West. If you go through the outside of Vegas, and it's still the Wild West.
The feds own most of it.
Yeah, where you? Yeah, you don't have to give your location away, but if you know about Nevada, where are you located at?
Who are you asking?
You, Salmon.
I'm in Toronto. I'm in the center of feminist utopia, and our laws, like you're saying, Canada with the laws with the feminist bullshit. Look, they're coming down hard. In 6 months, I might have to leave, and I might have to go to Europe. That's how crazy this is getting.
It's legit, but the thing is, Europe's just as bad. Australia is just as bad. Like I'm looking into Thailand at this point, or the Philippines. Although
the Philippines, they're mandating COVID shots.
I was just going to say the Philippines are doing that, but the good thing is at least Thailand has a king, and he's not going to be stepping off the throne anytime soon. And I had a good time last time I was in Thailand. So
I've been having guys tell me that Thailand has completely changed since COVID started.
Really,
all of the titty bars have closed, and it's a travesty.
Western men are going to Thailand, and they're wokeifying Thailand.
Oh, there goes the basket fuck.
Ugh.
Here's the thing: there's legit going to be no place left to go. I mean, I think this is one of those where I'll give props to this, at least in Germany and in France and in Italy. There 100,000 people are protesting, and they're getting in fights, and they're shoving the cops around. I was always a back the blue guy. Now I'm sitting at home. Are we streaming yet? We're not streaming yet.
We are streaming. Yeah, no, I don't do the introductory bullshit because the best conversation is.
Oh, okay,
fine.
Even with drunk Popp here.
Do you have this up on YouTube?
Yep. Yeah, we're live now.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because I watch my language then. Because
don't be like, you got to start stacking bodies, motherfucker.
Pop just like literally within 3 seconds, Pop was like faggots. I'm like, all right, well there it went.
There's your monetization.
Sorry. Hey,
in the face.
So as far as I'm looking at it, Italy's fighting back, Germany's fighting back, France is fighting back. They got 100,000 in the street, and what are we doing here in the meantime? They're talking about locking down cities that have had like four people pass in the last week because of the bug, and I'm just like, people are just, they're literally handing over their freedoms. Well,
listen, bro. It's not going to be like that forever. And when it does blow up, it's going to be bad.
Well, I know, but we got 3.5 years left under this administration. President Houseplant's going to last another. I mean, we know this. I
know. I got you.
So then we're going to have the most left congressman that was ever. I mean, she made Bernie Sanders look like Donald Trump. She's going to be stepping in, and she has no experience, and she's just going to follow whatever the cabinet tells her to do. And they're the same people that are telling Biden hey, you know what? Let's just blow out the left tire. We'll take this bus right off the cliff. 1, 2, 3, go. We're 6 months in, and we're already going crazy. So I have no faith in the system right now. That's why I'm going at least 2 years of food. So I'll be the last person on the planet to die. I'll put 2 years of food, get a good well, leave me the heck alone, and you know, a zillion bullets.
Well, may I? Okay, I like your enthusiasm. I've been talking about this a lot, like trying to get people like you do not want to bury your head in the sand and just pretend everything's going to blow over. At the same time, you gotta don't go too far and be like it's Fox. It's game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are you gonna do, man? What the fuck are we gonna do?
I'm not going to take this anymore.
So I'm optimistic about the future. It's just that the normies need to feel an enormous amount of pain.
Yep.
Where they actually pull their head out of their ass, and we've had it too good for too long. Everybody, no one thought it would ever get this bad, and everybody's waiting for somebody else to do something, not them. And the only thing it's going to take an extraordinary amount of pain, but it's going to be okay. The resiliency of humanity will always pull through. A lot of people are going to die, and that I'm okay with that. I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
Normally, I would agree with you, but the thing is that this weird lefty indoctrination that's been going on in schools and in colleges has been going on for 15 or 20 years. And everybody said, when they get done with college and they get into the real world and they see how the real world is and how it treats them, they're going to realize life is hard. What did they do? They came out and they became the scientists. I mean, we've now got the, I don't remember what organization, I think it's the American Health Association or American Medical Association. That's what it was. The AMA, saying that we shouldn't put gender on birth certificates.
Yeah, it's the AMA. You're right.
I'm like, okay, so if they're running the medicine, if they're running the government, if they're running the hospitals, they're running the schools, they're running the media, there is no voice but lead soon. And the thing is, a lot of people say like, yeah, well, I'll do X, Y, Z until you got 12 cops knocking on your door and it's go time. And a lot of people be like, oh, right this way, officer. Yeah, I keep that.
Won't someone not me do something? Look, I get that. You're actually underselling it. It hasn't been 15 or 20 years. This goes all the way back to right after World War One.
Is it that far?
It was the Frankfurt School and cultural Marxism.
Yeah,
but it was more theory.
I didn't get any traction here until like Vietnam and that whole counterculture
60s
thing.
and 70s is when I know that our collegiates were talking about it and teaching it more than just a theory in college. Now they're teaching this stuff to 6-year-olds. Like, I mean,
Cappy was saying he was talking about how everything's becoming G-rated on YouTube. Yeah, and it's not. So Cappy you wrote a book, Worthless, that I reviewed a while back, and what's happening is you're going against the indoctrination. That book is basically saying, don't go to college, don't go to the indoctrination camps, and then you're wondering why they're censoring you.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with going G or not. Today I put out a video that got the comment section on YouTube shut off. That was the first time that's ever happened.
Wow.
What do you mean shut off? Like they I can't even go in and see that it's shut off. I go to the video and it says comments have been shut off. And I'm like, but I didn't shut off the comments. And I went into YouTube video manager and I'm like, I didn't shut anything off. And it's just because the title is, 13-year-old transition. So because it's the age, they're just shutting off the comments. Right.
But it has nothing.
It's because these pedos were commenting on like little kid gymnastic videos. And so they were shutting down the comment section because they were getting flack because they were putting time codes in these little kids doing gymnastics so they could jerk off to them.
But I've put videos like this before criticizing the trans agenda, and they never shut off the comments.
But it's because you put an age. Like YouTube is run by robots. There's not like a person.
Actually, there are some people overseas that monitor. They'll do like 100 live streams at once. I think it was Tim Pool that was talking about it, that he actually got to see video of this, and they do have. And what they'll do is they'll kind of watch everything and just glance at each one. And if one goes south, but these are people that are not Americans, they probably English is their second language. And
whatever.
So what happened to this video? I uploaded this video a while back, and immediately within the first few days, it got about 50 views. So it was an unlisted video. So no one had the link and it was getting views. So they're literally going, like a lot of my videos, they'll watch them multiple times before I even release them. Because I know a lot of you guys put your stuff out immediately. If I wait a week or a month, sometimes you see the YouTube like viewing your videos behind the scenes. It's hilarious.
Do you put it in a what's the word I'm looking, in a library or one of your playlists?
No. It's completely unlisted. It's not in a playlist. It's just unlisted on YouTube. So no one, unless you have the specific link, you can't watch it. And somebody's watching it. So what? And not even somebody, like 50 people. That's a lot of views. I don't know if that's a robot. Yeah.
What I have a very, only because I'm the economist and all that, what I find fascinating, and maybe you guys have some speculation or ideas. To my knowledge, YouTube is not profitable yet.
It is.
It is. Is it? Did it make profit?
It actually turned a profit after the apocalypse. So after they basically took all the monetization away from most of their creators, they went from losing $12 million to making $70 million. So it was just a bait and switch. They bankrupt. You remember like Daily Motion and these other YouTube alternatives?
Sure,
YouTube,
Vimeo and all that.
Right. So YouTube was paying their creators to basically go to YouTube, and everyone did, because no one else was paying you to make content. So everyone just immediately migrated to YouTube. YouTube became the de facto home of, basically amateur content. And once their competition was basically bankrupt, YouTube pulled the rug out and said, okay, we're taking monetization away from like most creators. They basically raised the ceiling or the barrier to actually even get monetized at all. They demonetized most creators, slapped them with the little yellow coins and everything. Yeah. And they went from losing 12 million to making 70 million in 1 year. So it's just by cutting out the content creators, they were able to recoup all their losses and then some.
Okay, I made less this March, April, and May, putting out the same amount of content as I did last year when I had, 150,000 subs. And my views are the same or slightly up, but my monetization's almost in half. So they're definitely taking money from creators. And the thing of it is like, before I forget, I uploaded a video that was talking about what's going on in Australia with them fining people $11,000 and saying they're going to get 6 months in jail for just posting about meeting up and having protests and things like that. I did a video about that and a couple other things happening in France. Didn't use any language, didn't say anything other than the bug and the jab and the usual dance that we do. Okay. I uploaded it. It processed, which is, I don't know, normally I get my process done in about 5 minutes. Processed for about 2 hours, and then the video just disappeared. And so I uploaded it again, and it said this video already exists on YouTube, but it wasn't in my channel listing at all. So what I did is I edited it a little bit. Anything I said, well, maybe, I don't know. And that also changes the hash rate or the length of it. And I could upload it again. And it's same thing, an hour or two, gone. So now it's come to the point where not just either the robots are flagging something and then a human's reviewing it and they're just saying, like, don't put it up. Like, it's not even demonetized. We just don't want this up at all. Right. And the thing is, I didn't say, like, don't do it or don't do this or you got to do nothing. I'm just like, here's the news. And Sky News from Australia was suspended for 3 or 4 days, 5 days from YouTube. A news channel got suspended from YouTube because YouTube didn't agree with what a news channel was saying about this stuff. So not only is it getting to the point where our work is now you're dancing around so many words and so many topics that it's like, for me, it's no fun. It hasn't been fun in a long time. And where my new platform is. But the other thing that's frightening is when the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and the Center for, Southern Poverty Law Center, whatever it is, when they say they're partnering with Twitter and they're partnering with YouTube and they're partnering with Google and they're partnering with Facebook and they're partnering with the government and they're partnering with all these things. And if you say anything that's deemed hateful or misinformation or this or that, you're going into a database that's going to be shared by all of them. And which means the government's going to have it and all these platforms, they can literally unperson you. I mean, they did it. They've done it before, but it's not just you get kicked off of YouTube. Oh no, I'll just make a new. No, they now have all your information, and there are banks that participate in this. PayPal's participating in it. How long does it? Chase has done it to people like what's his name, Alex, and I can't say his last name. That they're getting unpersoned to the point now where if that happens to you, you may not have a place to bank. You may not have you might not be able to fly. You might not be able to. And you got to realize at a point, it's like, how important is it that I keep putting these videos out and sending my message when if somebody leaves a bad comment on a YouTube video, they might go in a database. Like at this point,
This is environmental social governance. You know how all the corporations are, they're keeping track of everybody and making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to, and then your score goes down if you don't, as a corporation. So if you're as a corporation doing business with customers who have a bad economic, social, or environmental social governance score, then that lowers their score.
Right.
So it incentivizes them to get rid of you.
Yeah, it's the Chinese social score. I mean,
exactly. It's a social credit, but it's got a different name, right? It's this. It's bullshit.
Well, it's unspoken, is what it is. That's what makes it at least if you have a Chinese social score. I presume there's an algorithm where they make it public. Like, here's the behaviors you have to have.
Yeah.
Here it's ambiguous. You have no idea.
You don't want to talk about anything that might. So, like before, back in the golden age, the worst we had to worry about was offending some feminists, some Anita.
Hang on, TFM. I love one of these quotes. Is this in the before time?
No, this isn't the long ago. This is just there was the long ago in the before time, and then there was like the MGTOW golden age, where like we had a very thriving red pill community. We had the MRAs doing their thing, MGTOW were doing their thing. We were all like laughing at feminists, pointing out the wage gap was bull crap for the millionth time. High fiving, good times were had by all, and then a dark cloud descended upon the manosphere. And one by one, they took everyone's. They came for the monetization. They took your money away. But if you got your own sponsors together, or if you didn't quit your day job or something, you kept going. And then after so many waves of censorship, I just left. I only upload. This is what's funny. Like, people don't get the joke. I only upload sex toy reviews to YouTube. And YouTube doesn't care. I could here's a pocket pussy, here's a sex doll, here's a blowjob machine. YouTube has no problem with that. Don't talk about like balancing rights and responsibilities and and the problems with universal suffrage. But review all the sex toys you want. Sex doll maintenance videos all day long.
Well, no, they took. I was advertising sex dolls, and they ended up taking the ads down and giving me a strike. So I couldn't even do that.
You have to set the videos to 18 plus, but they don't have a problem as long as you set your videos to 18 plus. I do. What's funny is now I get crap from the right as opposed to the left. So I get all the degeneracy, people on the right trying to shut me down and report me for stuff.
2 weeks ago, I had to shut down my BitChute comment section under all my videos because I get so many it's insane.
It's nothing but the BitChute comment section is nothing but racists and Nazis. That's it.
Can you talk to Ray and tell him to just allow us to edit the comment section so we could clean this up? Because even if they knew we could edit, we could delete their posts, then they would automatically police their own behavior and they would say things that were more respectable.
So here's the problem: when you create a free speech platform. Basically, Ray, he said no porn. That was his one rule. I don't want this to be a porn site, so don't upload porn here. So now his website just became Nazis and racists.
Yeah.
Had he allowed porn, it would be nothing but kiddie porn and lolicon. So unfortunately, if you want you have to figure out what you're going to allow. You can't just be blanket for free speech because there's going to be nothing but pedophiles and Nazis. And so you have to keep the pedophiles and the Nazis out of your free speech platform. But then that you're not standing up for free speech. It's I'd love to, but the Nazis and pedophiles literally ruin every time anyone tries to do anything related to free speech. The Nazis and pedophiles are there's a new platform.
Nazis and pedophiles.
Look. How about Nazi pedophiles?
Have you read the BitChute comment section? That's some of the most vile shit you've ever seen in your life, man.
I read them. I don't give a fuck.
I have a stronger stomach than you, and I'm like,
I don't read them. It's just so we have, now we have MGTOW.tv and Manosphere.tv, and there were some, white nationalists trying to post stuff and Jewish conspiracy theory videos on MGTOW.tv, and me and other people were telling them you need to come down on this. If you let the Nazis in, they will ruin everything for everyone.
But they're not even real Nazis. They're leftists who are pretending to be Nazis so that then they can go to the news sites and say, hey, look, there's Nazis over here.
It's post law.
It's a false flag.
It doesn't matter. No, I've talked to enough of these people. Some of them are legit. Some of them might just be autistic hangers on. Maybe they followed along. It's with that that plot to kidnap the Michigan governor, where it was like 99% FBI agents. It was just a big honeypot with a couple autistic spurgs being like dragged along with it. Like that's probably like 99% of the white nationalist sphere. It's a bunch of FBI agents trying to like honeypot people, and there's a couple autists who don't have any friends. Or like, someone will talk to me. And
well, if they want to know how to honeypot, they just need to talk to Fang Fang.
Right, but no one
did a thing or two.
Did Amir crack down on him though? TFM.
I didn't double check. I said my piece, and it's his website, but I really don't want to see. I don't want to see what happened to BitChute happen to MGTOW.TV.
No,
where a bunch of white nationalists and racists just pollute everything with their bull crap. And then here comes the ADL and the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ACLU and all the other acronyms and three-letter agencies to wag their finger and take our platform away because a bunch of people who, first of all, like if you're a Nazi or a racist or a pedophile or any of these weirdos, what you stand for has nothing to do with the manosphere or the red pill or freedom or anything. Like you're not even part of this community. You're
just
the
opposite, actually.
You're just trying. You're trying to recruit for your bull crap.
Yeah, but I got to correct you. According to Wikipedia.
well, what's interesting is if you understand, when you look at the political kind of landscape, everybody sees everyone who isn't them as the same, even though there's like different groups with different values, and they're actually just as opposite from each other as they are from these. We have this us versus them kind of paradigm. So anyone who isn't us it goes into the them box. And so if you're what I call an absolutist, if you're one of these like kind of traditionalist Nazi sympathizers people, maybe you don't want a Nazi, maybe you're trying to bring back a king or something, the good old days. You look at someone who loves freedom and you look at a communist and you see the same person. You can't even, you can't mentally understand that people who love freedom, people who want equality are actually polar opposites, because to you, they both threaten traditionalism and stability and the way of life that you want and what you value. So you see them in the them box. And so when you understand that, you get how in Wikipedia, from a progressive / communist perspective, they can't see the difference between someone who believes in free market capitalism and someone who believes in fascism. They can't understand the difference between someone who's a fascist or someone who actually like wants to be left alone. Like they're the same because both of them oppose equality. So unless you support equality, you're a fascist Nazi. And that's how they see the world. That's pretty much how all groups see the world. It's just a human heuristic shortcut. And it's wrong, but it doesn't matter. This is the world we're living in. We have to play by the rules of the normies. They're not going to change for us, so we have to kind of play by their rules and learn how to win the game.
Well, but the hard part is the normies' rules are changing. Just look who the normies are today. They're fucking bonkers.
They're not normie.
Yeah, no.
They're fucking crazy.
They're Abby normie.
Yeah, they're. I've never thought I'd see we're anti-establishment left cheering on the government, big pharma, the news cycle. I mean, we're definitely in a very weird place.
You're confusing values for tactics. So the left has never actually cared about democracy. Democracy just benefits them because there's always more losers than winners. There's more consumers than producers.
Sure.
So by playing the game of democracy, they tend to get more support than if they played a different type of system. But they don't actually care about majority rule in principle. It's just a means. They just
agree with you.
They believe in an ideology called progressivism, which is about equality and erasing the distinctions between groups and people.
Well, it's about equity, not equality.
Yeah,
it's all. Well, they love the word games. It doesn't matter. Like I don't play the word games. We'll call it equality, equity, sameness. Whatever.
Well, the reason why I disagree with you is I believe in equality. Everybody should have
I do too.
Equal opportunity to be given a chance.
I disagree because equal opportunity is actually it's a nose under the tent. So when you say equal opportunity, what you really mean is freedom from artificial constraints. You want people to run a fair race without somebody sabotaging them or holding them back.
Sure.
That's not equality of opportunity. That's freedom.
TFM,
So,
you want to go back to traditionalism?
No.
Then what do you want?
I want to be left alone. I don't want to be part of. I don't want to be part of this progressive equality-based bullcrap. Nor do I want to go back to some type of good old boy traditionalist bullcrap either. Because
you're libertarian.
But you talk about taking women's rights away, so that's kind of like going back to traditionalism.
No. Okay, I've had this conversation like literally 1,000 times.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Tuned into
Ready?
a show.
Are you-
You've
here we
listened
go.
to one episode.
So here's the thing. All right. You cannot free women because they require men to survive. Women have always needed men's investment to survive. Women and children cannot survive on their own. Period. End of discussion. Even to this day, women need this huge police state and this huge welfare state, and they need diversity quotas, and they need all this crap, family court, the whole 9 yards, just to pretend that they're independent. In reality, women are not independent. It's just simply a nature of human reproduction. The fact that women, they have to carry the baby in their belly. They need more calories. They're vulnerable. Their feet swell. They need a man to take care of them and invest in them. It's always been that way. It will always be that way.
Well, they have two sets of lips so that they can piss and moan at the same time.
Yes.
Well, so here's the thing. Well, all kidding
Glad
aside.
this is all on my channel, right?
So, but here's the thing. Women,
How
in
dare
a,
you?
in a state of nature, women are dependent on men. However, women and men work out a mutually beneficial agreement between themselves where the woman needs the male investment into her and her offspring, and the male has authority over the family that he's signing off on. And this is called patriarchy. This is a balanced, mutually beneficial relationship. Now, when you free women, you can't actually free women because women can't take care of themselves. So the only way to free women is
the minute you free them, they go crazy.
It's not that they go crazy.
No,
it's that they
they go crazy, bro.
okay. Well, they go crazy in the same way that spoiled children go crazy.
No. These women get their throats stabbed on a regular basis
with meat swords.
Meat swords.
Right, but I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is you have a mutually beneficial relationship between men and women, which they work out on their own. Now, when you try to free women in the name of some bullcrap of equality, it doesn't work because women are incapable of taking responsibility for themselves. They still need that male investment. So the state has to enslave men to serve the women so they can pretend to be equal to men. And that's the system we have now. It's not a system of equality because the women aren't responsible for themselves. Men are still responsible for women, but they have their authority taken away, which is called slavery. When you have all the responsibility, none of the authority, you're basically the whipping boy. And so in order to liberate men from this situation where they're being enslaved in order to prop up female delusions of equality, one of two things has to happen. Either women have to take responsibility for themselves and no longer require men's investment and all that bullcrap.
That's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen. It's biologically impossible. So the only other thing is to take women's rights away and restore that natural balance.
So you want to go back to traditionalism again? That's exactly it.
I'm glad I brought all of you on here to talk about alternative platforms to media. I'm glad that we focused on this.
Traditionalism is not. So traditionalism is basically these organizations and institutions like religion and government to, like monogamy. I'm not talking about any kind of formal institutions. Men and women in the animal kingdom, no religion, no government, animals just hooking up during mating season form these social units called families, and they do it all on their own. That's what I want to go. I don't need an institution. I don't need the government or religion telling me what to do. That's not traditionalism. I'm talking about returning to biological reality.
Let's go back to the censorship debate.
Because the reason I had all you on here, and I don't know where Joker went. He just split. For those of you who don't know, Turd Flinging Monkey, he is one of the foremost, and I do mean this honestly. He's one of the foremost philosophical experts. I think he's on the frontier. You could tune into him over at BitChute and all that. But let's kind of focus on. I wish Joker came back. I don't know where he went. Oh, there he is. Hang on, let me get him back in.
Yeah,
and let's go back. Let's go back. And
all right, now, hang on.
Yeah,
right,
go ahead, Popp.
When the first adpocalypse hit, I started putting a lot of shit on Daily Motion and Live Leak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there was like one or two other ones,
and Daily Motion kicked us off for spam because we had sponsors with links in the description.
Yeah, and Daily Motion just wiped this out. So fuck them.
Yeah, and now they're forcing creators to have monetized ads on their shit, whether or not they want them. So even if they say no, they're putting ads on it, and then you can either take it or not, I guess.
Yeah, well, YouTube is doing the same thing. They demonetize you.
Ain't that a bitch?
or you have a video that is not monetized. They still run ads on that shit and don't pay you.
Oh,
yeah, they tell you your videos aren't advertiser friendly, so they take your money away. Then they run ads on it anyway, and then they keep all the money.
Correct.
And and that's how they turn a profit now. Yeah.
Ain't that a kick in the balls?
Well, let's take a little bit of a structured approach here, because I think the reason I invited all you guys on is because you guys are the foremost authorities, but also you guys are out there, you're pioneering, and either through demonetization or being forced out or your own choices in the case of Joker, you guys we're all being forced to go off to alternative platforms. And I'm thinking like this is the way of the future, because it's been my opinion, and it's eerie because my dad was a Lutheran pastor. I grew up in a very strict Lutheran Christian Nazi household. It is eerie how, and I've drawn the parallel before, and I'm not even being facetious. Google or YouTube, for all of its leftist political ideology, is really becoming like the religious right. And it's not just conservative, anti-misandrist, red pill type of men. They're kind of banning everything and everyone. And so I kind of want to like get this panel on here of experts.
Okay, so so Canada, like I was saying earlier, Canada is tried to introduce Bill C-10 and Bill C-36, which are the anti-hate speech and controlling your personal posts on Twitter and Facebook thing. The bill that they wanted to push that got pushed back. So they're going to vote on it again in the fall. But the problem is governments are going to step in next. So we're going to alternate platforms, and we're building up a following there. And then the Canadian government's just going to show up and be like, Sandman can't be on these platforms either. And then so in Canada, those platforms will have to shut down. So they'll still be in the United States. I might access with the VPN. And then they're going to go to me and say, oh, Sandman, you're posting stuff that we don't like. Here's a $50,000 fine, and here's a year in jail. That's what they want to pull, right? So this is what they're trying to pull. So then my only alternative is like, okay, do I take my Serbian passport and head off to Serbia and go live over there? I could do that and keep broadcasting from over there, or do I stay in Canada and shut everything down or face prison time? Like that's the choice they're giving me at this point. So it's a tough one, right? Like we don't know where this is going. So. But I know in the United States, obviously they're not going to do that. But what they're trying to do in the United States is go about it in a different way. So, for example, your phone, you won't be able to access Google products, or they're forcing people to log into Microsoft with a Microsoft or into Windows with the Microsoft ID. So you won't be able to use the tools. You won't be able to use your phone. You won't be able to use your computer unless you have their ID. And to get their ID, you have to be politically compatible with their ideology. So,
Now, Liz, you that might be happening.
Yeah.
But there will always be the other side.
I was building to that. Yeah.
Will show up.
So that's why I was building to the next thing, which is the Freedom Phone, which has come out just this month. They're coming out with the Freedom Phone, which is a phone that has Brave browser. It has Gab and Minds. It has all of the alt tech platform technology built right into it. A Bitcoin millionaire or a billionaire, I think, Bitcoin billionaire, he built this technology. And he's now selling it in the United States. I think it's like $500 for the phone.
$499.
How much? $599?
$499.
Oh, okay, yeah, so $500.
And not to interrupt, real quick, everybody, it's $100 minimum super chats because I did want to have this conversation. So please save your money unless it's $100 because I did want to have this conversation. So we will not be responding to super chats under $100 because I'm a greedy capitalist pig.
You're an expensive date.
Continue on, Sandman. Sorry.
So anyway, we're going to have to use phones that are not establishment phones so we can log in, and then we might even have to use mesh networks. So the internet we might be kicked off the internet entirely because we don't like the internet providers will say, well, you don't fit with the environmental social governance policy, so you're going to have to use you're going to have to use a cell phone connected in a network with other cell phones with like-minded individuals. That's going to be our only way to communicate with each other at that point.
Well, yes and no. I mean, other options will pop up like Linux, VPN.
I was thinking Asia, because what the fuck does Asia have? I mean, like Russia and Asia. Like I'm with Subscribestar, which is a Russian company, and it's the irony. Popp and Joker, you guys are old enough to. I don't know if Sandman, but Turfling, you guys, they were our sworn enemies, and now they're like our best friends because they're free.
They're saving Bastion right now.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you, Sandman, and with the databases that they're building. If they do, and see, the thing of it is that right now the government's like, oh, we're not going to do X, Y, Z. We can't because of the Constitution, so on and so forth. And they don't have the members in Congress or the Senate. They don't have enough members to change the Constitution, make amendments, things like that. So what they're going to do is they're influencing and pushing on private companies to do the same thing that they want to do. That'll go so far as, yes, they can remove you from banks. Yes, they can remove you from internet service providers. Yes, they can remove you from cell phones. Yes, they can remove you from the internet. That is why I made such a big push for everybody to get off my YouTube channel, and I will as well. Although ironically, that's kind of like me burning the goose that lays the golden eggs. Like, that's my income, and now I have to.
You're burning the boats. You're burning the boats. That's what you're doing.
You have to, because otherwise they're going to use them to come conquer you. And it's a really tough thing to do, to burn your own channel to the ground and destroy your income. But if you don't, and you do get on these lists,
I'm already on the list, man.
Yeah, we all are pretty much.
Everyone's on a list. I hate to be that guy. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter like how you color within the lines.
Well, the difference is they don't have this database with the ADL and with the Southern Poverty Law Center and all this other stuff. And yeah, we may be on some lists, but I mean, the point is, at least we know enough now to say, okay, this is a list that's probably going to get passed to the government. It's getting passed between all the internet and companies and everything else. And we have a choice. I mean, to really be safe,
what's going on?
Nothing. I'm messing with Popp because he's over here just being like,
what poop and fart joke do you guys have going on now?
Nothing. He's fucking.
He's massaging the alphabet.
Continue, Joker. I mean, one or two sophomoric fools.
No, it's all right. I mean, let's be honest about it. If we were smart, and we wanted to save our own skins, we'd just be done, and we'd walk away from it all, and we'd leave the manosphere, and we'd leave this all behind. However, I think the five of us are looking for ways to continue what we're doing, because if we just give up and walk away, we're doing exactly what they want us to do, number one. And number two, that's a pretty big disservice for a lot of guys out there that they don't have the experience and don't have the thicker skin to kind of be able to be comfortable and know how to navigate this stuff. I'm not saying that they're stupid by any means. I just mean they're inexperienced. I was not very inexperienced up until, what time is it? About 30 minutes ago. So we're going to have to move, and it comes down to where. And as far as I'm concerned, everything I think at some point is going to be trashed. It's just, where can we go to try to survive the longest, to try to do what we need to do and hang in there until something that can circumvent everything that's going on is released, whether it's a Freedom Phone, whether it's doing crypto, using what's the word I'm looking for, that what is it, Gab that uses it, the
blockchain?
Yeah, using the block. Thank you. Using the blockchain. It's to hang around long enough until we can do that. My only hope at this point, the companies that I'm choosing, so I think I'm going to keep backing everything up to Library and Odyssey, because I think they're probably a relatively safe place to be. But there's really no monetization. There's no commercialization. There's no ad revenue. There's nothing. And then my other bets are Rumble. It's a Canadian company. It may get pulled into all the crap they've got going on up there. But Dan Bongino, who is a very conservative radio host, and I think he owns a good portion of it. So I know he'll at least be an internal voice that's fighting it. And then I've chosen Locals because Dave Rubin, who was kind of left-leaning, they now consider him a far right-wing nut because he's actually not, he's what you would call a true liberal. He started Locals specifically, and they do not share this information. They do not worry about censorship. I mean, relatively mild censorship, so you don't get the crazies you were talking about earlier. But for example, if I'm doing a live stream and I've got top 40 music on radio playing behind me, they don't pull it. If I decide to have an overlay and a movie is playing on a screen behind me and I want to do mystery science theater 3,000 roast of it, I can do that. If they're at that point, that tells me that they're not sending anything to Sony or Disney or the government or anybody else. So that gives me a good feeling. And because you have to put a little skin in the game to be a supporter, you can post either for everyone or you can post for just supporters. And these are people that have to put cash in the game. Mine is $5 to be a supporter per month. You can post something that's only for them. So if I post something about government or the jab or the bug or my videos that I think are a little bit more questionable, I put it behind a paywall, and you got to put some skin in the game to see it. It's not perfect, but it keeps it from any crazy nutbag that's out there doing a search, finding your channel, and then complaining to somebody or putting you out here. It's the only thing that I can see where I can make enough to continue doing the work I do, but at the same time protecting myself so I'm not on the wild web where I can get hung up to dry. Those have been my choices.
Okay,
Well, let me
just quickly tell you about.
I do want to structure this a little bit for the benefit of the audience, the benefit of ourselves. But go ahead, Sam, man.
I didn't want to interrupt you earlier, but with Library, with Odyssey, I've actually made over $1,000 in LBC tokens, which I've cashed out. So
now, how do you cash them?
That's what I wanted to. So all of us are getting LBC tokens, and you see these tokens building up into your account. And right now, a lot of the tokens are connected to the specific videos. You're being used to promote the videos higher in the rankings. So when you see that number under your Library video, that's actually being used to push your video up higher in the search results. Now, if you cash that out, your video is going to drop lower in the search results. But it doesn't matter for most of us because we're putting out content almost every single day. Right. So, we're building up our followers. So what I did was I went and I took the LBC tokens and I transferred them to bittrex.com, which is an exchange. And then you go on the exchange and you actually put your tokens up for sale on the exchange. And then you can convert them to Bitcoin. You can convert them to stable coins. And then from there, I moved it to Coinbase and then out to PayPal and out to my bank account. So when you say we're not monetized there, like we are monetized there. Every one of my videos now on there is making a few bucks, like $2-3. It's not a lot, but if I moved the audience that I had on YouTube right now, if I had 10,000 views on there every day, I'd be making $50 to $100 a day just on that video. So I think we need to push in that direction. Also, Odyssey is one of the only platforms right now that's actually growing audience. Right. So I don't know,
Rumble's
YouTube
growing very quickly as well.
Yes. And BitChute has now started to grow again, but it was kind of flatlining for a while. But again, I don't have any experience with Rumble, so maybe you guys can fill me in on the Rumble monetization model.
Well, that's why you guys are all here. So let me kind of go through it because what I think we're trying to do is we all agree we're on the Titanic and it's sinking. And
grab the silverware first.
Right. And you guys, because we're all IQs of 140 plus, we're all thinking like, well, what port in the United States, once we cross the Atlantic on our rescue boat, are we going to port in, and what should we order for Prosecco? You guys are way further ahead. What I'm saying, for our own immediate benefit, for other content creators within our own sphere and like-minded people, as well as our consumers, I think we just need to immediately figure out what the lifeboats and the life rafts are. And then we can worry about what port we're going to go to if we were to make it across the rest of the Atlantic as the Titanic sinks behind us.
And just to kind of clear it up, the lifeboats also have leaks. They're just sinking at a slower rate.
And that's why exactly I want to have you guys on here. Now I'm going to go with Turfling Monkey because TFM, you are probably, I would have to say, the foremost authority in terms of alternative platforms, because you've gone every different platform. You've gone with OBS overlay, everything like that. For us content creators, the ideal world would be we can live stream, we can collect super chats or donations, and then we can actually have it stored on some kind of server somewhere. Now, all that, ignore the fact what you've been kicked off of. What platforms for live streaming have you gone with so far?
All right. So I currently stream to 6 different platforms at the same time whenever I go live. I have Trovo, which is owned by Tencent, which is Chinese. So they have their own issues, but they're not beholden to Washington. So it's like the CCP, they obviously crack down on their own people severely, but they really don't give a shit if you offend some pink-haired feminist So you basically it's the lesser evil. So Trovo is owned by Tencent. I stream there. Entropy is Entropy is a very interesting platform. They allow you to basically remonetize yourself. You can actually mirror YouTube videos, DLive, Twitch through Entropy. If you've lost your monetization or if you can't monetize, you could collect super chats through Entropy while streaming on these other platforms. So Entropy is another platform I've been using. Now, from Entropy, MIGTA.tv, that's one. Now I know MIGTA.tv is one, but there's also going to be like Manosphere.tv. Oh, right, nothing's safe. So
no. If MIGTA.tv has been under attack, if you've been talking to Amir, he's been having denial of service attacks every week or two. There's been a denial of service,
and that's going to happen. That's going to happen anyway.
But he's not going to pull the rug. He's just not going to pull the rug.
So and I'll talk about that. So yes, MIGTA.tv. The guy's done great work. He's added super chat features. He's added the same alerts that I was used to on Streamlabs. Because I'm like the test monkey for a lot of these platforms, I work with the developers to try to get some of the functionality that I'm used to, and they're willing to work with me. So I've actually helped push these platforms to have some better super chat functionality and better alert functionality. So MIGTA.tv is great. Like, in fact, the other day when I was streaming yesterday, Entropy was down. It just wasn't fucking working. But MIGTA.tv was working, so I still was able to get super chats and get donations and make money.
Amir's awesome. I'm very impressed with him as an individual too, and not just the functionality of his website.
Well, he's also a content producer too, right?
He's a good guy. Amir at the CME, and he's a good dude. He's a
good guy. Yeah.
He knows his
after we're done sucking his dick, let's get fucking. All right.
Hey!
Here's a dig for you to say.
All right, here you get the left ball. I'll get the right ball. Joker can get the mushroom.
All right, continue on, TF. I want
fingers,
platforms and numbers and names. That's right.
So anyway, MIGTA.tv has been under attack. It's been DDoS several times, probably because of me. I'm sorry. I have these people who fucking hate me, and no matter where I go, like the next platform I'll talk about is Prohibited.tv. So these are just a bunch of like guys who wanted to create a free speech platform. I worked with them. They were happy to work with me. They immediately got DDoSed by, again, these people who hate me, and they follow me wherever I go. So if you want to create some kind of manosphere free speech platform, you just need to understand what you're getting into. Like, these people don't play around. They will come after you immediately with DDoS attacks. They'll report you to everyone. They'll try to get you canceled. That's how they play. That they have nothing better to do because they're sitting at home on welfare with an extra $600 in unemployment. They don't have anything else to do with their life.
So your situation is you now do you use a program like OBS to simulcast essentially?
Yeah. So there's a plugin. I do use OBS. There's a plugin. It's called the multiple output plugin. It's by a guy called Sorayuki. You just Google it. You just look for it on Google. OBS is free. The plugin is free. It allows you to stream to multiple platforms simultaneously. Now you do have to limit your bit rate,
like it Popp,
your frames per second, in order to.
He's taking notes.
I'm writing it down, bro.
Blake, I sent you the link.
I know, but I need to write this down on paper because I'm an old guy.
You ain't gonna remember any. Blake's gonna do all the work as he always does.
I sent Blake the link like a month ago.
All right, now this is the way my memory works. Yes, I forget shit. But sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll sit up and be like, "Oh my god!"
Is that from a heart attack from the ham sandwich earlier? Or is that because you forgot something?
No, that's because I had I got blown up in Iraq in 04.
Yeah,
and I had like bleeding in the brain, and I seriously have like structural problems in my thinking meat.
For real brain damage.
Yeah. It's the real deal.
I would have never noticed, Popp. Never noticed in a million years.
4 to 8 shots of hard liquor.
Now, what I want to bring up here, Monkey and Sandman, is because of my background, I have done nothing but work in the industry of war since I was 17. I did special operations for 21 years, civil affairs, PSYOPs, intel, the whole deal. And we are in an information non-conventional warfare here. This is asymmetric warfare fought on the internet.
I just got a message from Amir. He basically said that there's not going to be any more DDoS attacks. He says, I wouldn't worry about them anymore. because he has the server is blocking them. I Pop, this is not just a war on one front. This is
it's not.
information warfare. This is financial warfare, and this is kinetic warfare.
Yeah. Well, we're not at a kinetic.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We need
Not
the
yet.
Terminator waifus first. Terminator waifus first. Kinetic warfare second.
Yeah, but the thing is what the way I've been approaching this is I basically, you have Joe Rogan he's on one platform and he's got all of these viewers. I can't do that. The guys in the manosphere can't do that. But what I do is I went horizontal.
Yep.
And I'm going to live stream on every platform that's possible. Not everything, but we want to be able to mainstream to get the message out there to as many platforms and people as we possibly can.
You're diversifying your units. You don't want to just put them all in one place and get it all blown up. You want to make sure you got everything spread out.
Well, that way, if they take down a boat or two, you can hopefully find another one before they get the rest of yours. Yeah.
My audience, I do want to say, my audience is used to me being kicked off of platforms. I've been kicked off of like 5 or 6 platforms. So the reason why
like the redheaded stepchild. Yes.
I'm the test monkey. I get it. Anyway, so here's the thing.
You were thrown off of Discord, for God's sakes.
I was kicked off of Discord, PayPal, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, DLive. They kicked me off of DLive. Like, think about that. Anyway, so yes, having multiple platforms is very important, because the most important thing, like just for you guys like Joker, who you basically been on YouTube this whole time. And I know you're diversifying into Rumble and locals. Be prepared to lose 90% of your audience when you switch platforms.
I know that's why when I did my video the other day, and I'm like, oh guys, I'm going to be heading out to these other places. I like from locals, like I have 350,000 subs, I think, on YouTube. On locals, I got 35,000 subs. Out of that, the supporters are less than, I think they're maybe 1 or 2% of the 350 grand.
Yeah, but those are your hardcore audience that does follow with you. They're the ones that matter. Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I think that until the ship really starts to sink, I think a lot of people are like, well, I've heard this before. Steven Crowder says that he's got his 3rd strike, and Tim Pool says he got it. I've heard this all before, and I think it's not going to sink home until people go log on one day and they go, Joker's channel is completely gone. Well, I'm going to go check out. Oh, that's gone too. And that's gone too. And until that happens, I think people are going to be very hesitant to leave. And no matter how much I warn them, like, dude, you don't want to be leaving comments, and you got to be careful about what you're doing here, because you can end up on a list. Just ask TFM.
Yeah, you're on the list.
You're right.
On the list for a while.
Yeah.
I have a story that confirms what you're talking about.
All right, but like all you guys, you guys do a lot of the red pill content, right? So I do that as well. I'm trying to educate men, so they
I
don't
also review sex toys. Let's be fair.
Well, yeah, I got you. But I'm trying to educate men to keep their necks out of nooses, keep them from shooting themselves or dying from, crashing their motorcycle at 150 miles an hour into concrete walls.
Right.
I'm
actually doing videos that are talking about, what's going on, and I'm
you're not going to be able to do that much longer. That's
I know, but that is what I do. I'm a tactical thinker.
Right.
I can see propaganda. I talk about it. And I'm starting up a prepper group, Pops Preppers, for anyone in the country who wants information. Here I am.
Right, but the next step of this, it's been we're against the manosphere. The next step of this is where they're pushing against conservative, they're pushing against people that want freedom, they're pushing against people that want to talk about the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. They're taking down people that are wanting to protest with the authoritarian.
When that starts,
keep expanding.
When that really starts and gets up and running, that's when the shooting war will begin.
Right, and so what I'm saying is important now is that, for example, like TFM is as old school as you get, and I think everything has been thrown at him, including Thor's hammer. So if this is something that TFM, if you can, and you may have a guide of here's the OBS, here's the the places I found I can live stream to, here's the plugin that will let you live stream, here's how you can set it up. I know that would be rough, but if we can get that guide together, not only are we going to need it at some point, but
other people
other people that are going to say, hey, I want to talk about what's going on about the authoritarianism and about this other stuff. I think, I mean, we're going to have to build or join whatever it is.
Wait. So what you're saying here is you want to have a unconventional warfare guide in the informational age is what you're talking about.
Pretty much. We're going to have to go. And I know I don't like these
cake.
I don't like these terms because it makes me feel like a crackpot. But the truth of it is we're here.
Well,
we're going to
you're not paranoid if they really are out to get you.
Well, that's just it. And so there is a point where we have to say, you know what? Okay, maybe we talk less about the manosphere. Maybe we talk about how men keep their money, how you find work, how you
financial warfare,
right? How you protect yourself, how you can lay low so the government doesn't get an eye on you, how you can find munitions.
We're covering that in administrative violence.
Right. So
I'm serious. It's going to be 3 hours long.
Look, TFM. Myself and Aaron have also been covering financial warfare for forever too. We've been working it into that. So we're already doing that. I think we almost have to have like a manosphere Avengers, because right now we're all kind of like our own superheroes, right? We're all kind of do our own thing.
I'm for it, man. I'm for it.
Okay, Mr. Iron Man Popp, there you go.
Let me kind of refocus, because I know we all have our venting and everything to go on, but for practicality's sake, what I think we all need to assess right now, we can have our gripes. We need to find out new platforms and where they're going, at least in the medium term.
I was in the middle of going through that,
and then that's why I want to kind of redirect it towards you, TFM.
Let's give them like 2 minutes to finish.
Okay,
but here's TFM. I want you to give me all the live streaming platforms. Then I'm going to go to Joker and talk about Facebook replicants. But please go on TFM for your live stream.
You need to separate streaming platforms from archive platforms. So where you upload your videos may or may not be the same platform you stream to. So for example, Entropy is a streaming platform. Trovo you can upload, but Trovo, because it's more mainstream, I'm expecting them to cuck out and kick me off sooner or later. So I'm not trying to build any kind of roots there, because I fully expect to get deplatformed. So Trovo's found money. Mixer.tv, that's our space. So unless something happens to Amir, we're good. Like that's the one place.
Yeah.
So if when they come for it, look, the bell tolls for us all. But so I upload to Mixer.tv, I upload to BitChute, but BitChute doesn't work sometimes. I upload to Odyssey/library, and I upload to PeerTube, but it's a Russian instance of PeerTube. But I stream to Trovo, Entropy, Mixer.tv, Prohibited.tv, PeerTube, and Odyssey. So I stream.
All right, so that's like what, 6 different platforms we're talking right there.
So, and I simultaneously stream to all of them when they're up
through an OBS type of software.
I posted a link. So if you look on the private chat link to the right, I posted a link to the OBS plugin that you'll need to do the simultaneous multiple RTMP output.
All right, now, but mention that for the listeners. If someone wants to go and have this universal, what is it, OBS? You just download it? OBS Lite?
OBS is basically freeware.
Okay.
So I use it. It has a very steep learning curve.
Right.
But once you learn it, it's actually really versatile, and you can record videos with it. You can stream with it. And then with the plugin for the multiple RTMP output, you can stream to multiple platforms. And what you need to keep in mind is you need to limit your bit rate. And you probably should I limit my frames per second to 10, and I keep my bit rate at about 700. So if you're used to doing live video, like Joker, you, Popp, you guys like to do like full motion capture video with a camera. You may not be able to stream to multiple platforms with full resolution, because you're simply can you
set the resolution lower on certain ones and keep it high on others, or does it have to be across the board?
It's based on your settings. So you'll have your main OBS output settings, and then the plugin will mirror that to multiple outputs, but you can't have individual output settings. You can only have one setting. So
all right. Well, I'm not too worried about the details here. Right now, I'm just going for functionality.
But it's quality, right? But like if people want, 30 frames a second with pop stuff, then at high bit rates, you're not going to be able to broadcast it everywhere.
Right. So what you're seeing right now, if you look at my avatar, that's 10 frames per second with the 700 bit rate. So you can have light animation, but it's going to be choppy movement.
Yeah.
So if you have like a full motion video, or if you're trying to do live video, it's going to be a little bit choppy. You may get away with upping it to 24 frames per second, which is like old school film. But you're not. I would stay away from 30 or 60 frames per second, because when you're streaming to 6 different platforms at once at 60 frames per second at like 1,000 bit rate, you're going to crash your system.
Here's the problem, TFM and Sandman. You guys got an IQ of at least 135 plus, and the average person doesn't. So we'll worry about that. I'm just saying, for now, in the foreseeable future, strategically looking.
Mm-hmm.
The alternative to YouTube, since we don't know what it is to stream on multiple platforms using a operating system that's on top of it,
OBS.
like a StreamYard or OBS on top of it, right? And then whatever down the road will happen to become the next platform. But for now, our safety boat or rescue boat is this multiple platform thing. Now, TFM. Because for our own purposes, because I like super chat money, I think it's like being a stripper. People just give me money for me existing. It's wonderful. And Joker worked in the stripping industry, and he's like, wow, it's just so. Is there a way, not through super chats, not through YouTube, to get super chats and donations? Like if people have a question and they highlight it in your live stream.
We have two. I use two. Entropy. And MGTOW.TV. MGTOW.TV has its own built-in super chat system, and also because I've been working with Amir, he can do custom alerts and everything. And I also have my own guy who built a tool for me, because I have super chats coming in from Entropy and MGTOW.TV, and then this tool parses them. He may make that available to other content creators. Right now it was custom made for me, and I don't know how much work that would be to like retrofit that to other content creators.
I just got a message from Amir that I just put in can you guys see it in the private chat? He says what the streaming resolution is.
Private chat.
Yep.
So 700 kilobits per second. So that's not too bad. And the frame size is actually pretty good.
Well, Amir's the bomb. I mean, and I'm glad we got the only reservation I have with Amir is he has something as niche and precise as MGTOW or Manosphere.tv. I wish he had something a little bit more general.
Well, tell him what you should call it. Like, I mean, we don't like.
But I mean, it could be anything. Could be boopity boppity boppity boo. Bald men who live in Bozeman, Montana.tv.
Well,
whatever these people have.
Cappy, I will say this though. My channel is named Better Bachelor. I have close to 10% of my viewers are women. So I don't think the MGTOW kind of, it doesn't matter, because I'll tell you what, if you're getting ready to sling lead and you're crawling underground to try to fight this Cold War, you're a man and you're going to be going on your own. So I think that's less of it, and it's more of, and maybe that's good, because everybody's always hated and avoided that corner of the internet. It doesn't bring any more attention if you put a flag on there and call American freedom fighters again. But that'll get some more attention.
But symbols are very important, and the left knows this. This is why the left demonetized every single MGTOW channel in one foul swoop back in November of 2019. Go ahead.
You guys are getting really. It doesn't matter. So.
But it does.
No, it doesn't. Let's stop. Let me explain. So MGTOW.TV, Manosphere.tv. Okay, even if those stay niche platforms, that's okay, because you also stream to Trovo, to Odyssey, to Prohibited. You stream to multiple platforms simultaneously. And so MGTOW.tv isn't your main thing. However, if you want super chats, you can basically say, hey, like I tell people, if you want to, donate to the show and you want to ask a question, you got to use Entropy. And then when MGTOW.tv added that functionality, you could use Entropy or MGTOW.tv. But you could watch on another platform, but you could go to these other platforms if you want to actually super chat.
Does Amir make a commission off of that? I hope Amir's making some money, right? 10% or something like that?
He's even created his own version of like Subscribestar. So you can actually take donations that way too. He told me that like a week ago. So this is all new.
Damn Egyptians making money.
No. So just so you know, Entropy and MGTOW.tv take a 15% cut. That's the nature of the beast. You know, like
it's higher, but it's safer. That's
it's higher than PayPal, but it's lower than YouTube. YouTube Super
Okay,
Chat
but the
like 30%.
larger point is, it may not be a monolith like YouTube, but there is a substitute for YouTube where we can live stream, collect super chats, have interaction with our clients, all consolidated under an OBS platform. And then we can also store it on websites like BitChute. Is DLive a storing site, or is that live streaming?
DLive already cucked out. I wouldn't even bother trying.
Well, here
you can store on Manosphere and MGTOW.tv as well.
Okay, all right. Here's I want a broader approach. I don't care if you've gotten kicked off on something there, TFM, because you've been kicked off everything. So, but does DLive allow live streaming?
Yeah, DLive does live streaming, and you get super chats via their own cryptocurrency, which is like lemons. And you can cash those out. So back when I was on DLive, I think I was making about like $1,000 a month.
I gotta correct TFM. So Amir just sent me a message saying he charges 10%, not 15%, plus 30 cents per transaction.
Amir's worth it. He's absolutely worth it. Joker, okay, so we have the live streaming kind of down where TFM is.
He's saying to Cappy, if you get $100, you get to keep 89.70.
I know how percentages work. Yes, I know. I have an American education. I know. They think we're morons over here. I'm from the generation that we put up, a rocket on the moon kind of thing.
It has to do with your Egyptian joke. So just keep out on those.
I liked his Australian joke at the CME too.
Let me go with Joker. Joker, you have you are moving from YouTube.
Yep.
But then you have gone to Odyssey or Rumble, and then you have locals. Explain all that to me.
All right. So I haven't done a lot of research. I know that I could, I at one point when I uploaded a video to YouTube, it would automatically get added to library, where Odyssey is now the front end of that library is going away. And I may not be going away, but that may be where they're storing the videos and the content, and then you use Odyssey to access it. They do not, as far as I know, have any monetization. I haven't looked into live streaming or any of that there. I literally joined 3 days ago, but I know you can store videos on library and access them through the Odyssey website. Rumble, I just joined them a couple of days ago. They don't have really any syncing that I've found yet, but I can upload directly to them. They do have commercialization. In other words, you can send a video for approval for monetization. They try to find somebody that is willing to advertise on it. And if they do, I've had 7,000 views on my videos. I've gotten 9 cents. Now, it's not enough, because when
I'm not stripper money. What the hell?
No, and what it is when I upload it and then I publish it, it says waiting for monetization, but it's also viewable. So I think there's something in there where I can put it to submit it for monetization, but not make it viewable. And then when the monetization kicks in, I can make it publicly visible and get something there. So I'm still working on that on Rumble, but Rumble also has live streaming, I believe. So they have
Rumble does it now. Does it allow super chats as well?
No. Well, Rumble is charging what, $100?
$100 a month.
$100 a month. Ooh. That is out of the question right now.
Okay. All right.
What? The fuck? Like $10 a month, okay, but 100, fuck it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could get like a Streamlabs membership, or the site that we use, which is called splitstream.io.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a little bit. Let's let Joker finish off with his current platform.
Right, one last thing quickly, what TFM said. He was talking about the places he was streaming. Here's another issue I had with TFM streaming. I would follow him on different places and watch the videos in different places. And sometimes he could only stream to like 10 or 20 people in each platform. So TFM, if you could tell us the restrictions based on number of users per platform, that would be good.
So obviously these platforms don't have Amazon money or Google money. A lot of these are these are independent streamers. So their platforms can't support 100 people watching on that platform. So like I stream to 6 different platforms, like generally Trovo, MGTOW.tv, those ones support 100 plus, but Prohibited, PeerTube, I'm not sure about Odyssey, but they start to buffer around 50 people. So people and I have a large amount of my audience that still watches me on YouTube, because I basically am I'm basically putting Halsey's channel at risk. He's one of my co-hosts, and he has a YouTube channel, but he's Jewish, so we're hoping that his Jew shield protects him.
The Jew shield.
All right.
So we're risking his YouTube channel, but I stream on that, and about half my audience watches on his channel because they just want to watch. They don't want any buffering and bullshit. And a lot of these independent platforms, unfortunately, they don't have the resources to give you like the YouTube quality experience. But so if you want, I recommend MGTOW. Like really, that is the best platform by far in terms of functionality and everything. But you don't want to rely exclusively on any one platform. You need to diversify. You want to stream on as many platforms as possible. And when new ones pop up, you want to add them. And then when you get kicked off of one, just take it out of the rotation.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like a lot of management then.
What I think it would be interesting too is if, say, you're using MGTOW to stream, if each person streamed on a different night at the same time, then the people who go to that platform would know that it would be like almost like a television channel. You'd have the same. I mean, I know it's a little bit hard to organize. I know we all got our own shit going on.
Yeah,
but
ain't gonna happen. Yeah.
No. Like hurting
All right,
cats.
Joker. Some that because again, now this is where you are the foremost authority. Locals.com. That seemed to be a huge thing. I signed up for it, and already people donated money to me, and it was so quick. I'm like, whoa, wait, guys, I don't even know what it. Explain to me and everybody else what locals.com is. It is a substitute for live streaming. Is it just a Facebook replicant? What are we looking at?
Yes and yes. Okay, so Dave Rubin set up Locals. He's doing this because he saw what was happening to Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and everything else. And so the way it works is you just create an account like you would on YouTube, and then you can make basically your own channel. And that's what I did. And then you have the ability to set a donation to become a supporter. So people can join your community for free. I have, like I said, about somewhere between 30 and 35,000 people on Locals now, and they're all free. They just joined up and they're there. What's nice about it is that I can publish a video and I can live stream, and I can do it to anybody that's a member. So
you can live stream on Locals as well.
Yes. Now for
interesting.
For TFM, the problem is I just tried to do this today, OBS, and they don't recognize virtual cameras. So the Locals kept trying to capture my video camera, and it wasn't able to because OBS had used it to build it into a virtual desktop, and that made that into a virtual camera, and they don't have a streaming key and any of that stuff. So I emailed, I've got a representative that actually communicates with me very well. So I emailed her to see if we can get a fix to that, like right now. But I can't. I don't know. I haven't seen her.
You could have lied and said, yeah, she's hot. That would have been a better story. All right, continue on. I'm sorry.
I did a video call with her, but it was one where I was on my cell phone and it was so pixelated I couldn't tell. Voice. Okay. So anyway, so the nice thing is that you do have a live stream and they do have super chats. And then the way the super chats work is you can use cash to buy coins, and then they can use the coins to tip you. To give you an idea, I think for each 10 coins is $1. And I've just in the last month, I've gotten about 4,000 coins. So that's about $400 just from tips on my post. So they can tip a post if you just put a post. It's kind of like Facebook, Twitter in your feed. So you can post pictures, you can post links to other stuff, you can post you name it, just like you would Facebook.
And you can live stream as well.
And you can live stream and upload video as long as it's shorter than 1 hour. 1 hour is their current cap.
Okay.
But a 1 hour live stream, I think, is where most people are going to be without being.
Nobody wants to listen to us more than that anyway. Yeah.
Right. Jesus, so you have the ability to live stream. You have the ability to live stream, and they can tip you through coins, and you can do that for members. And then you can also, at the same token, make any post at the same time, not any token, because I'll confuse you. At the same time, you can also upload a post or a photo or anything, a live stream or a video or anything, and set it to supporters only. And that's so people that at least donate. My base is $5, but other content creators may put it as $7 or $10. That is their minimum to support you. And then if they're a supporter, you can set posts for them. So you kind of split it into a community. Free members that can tip your posts and give you something if they like the content or during a live stream, or supporters that are saying, I will sub to you monthly for $5, or for a year, in my case, is $50. And that what's nice about that is, yes, they're getting 2 months for free, but also you're getting the money up front. So that, you know, they don't have to think about it all year, and you're getting the money up front. So it's nice because if you kind of keep that going, when you get started, you got a little bit of a monetary boost. So if you want to update your equipment or get things going for it. So
I have something you may be interested in.
Yeah.
So something you could do, this works with MGTOW.TV. Like YouTube, you could set videos to unlisted so they don't appear on your main channel page. You have to have the URL to go to it.
Right.
In Subscribestar, you can create tiers. You can make like a $5 tier, a $10 tier. You can put your unlisted videos in that tier so that people have to pay to see your premium content. That's I do that with my my news stream for 1 week. And I also do like investment stuff Monday through Friday, and that's locked behind like a $5 tier. So you can do that without dealing with coins and everything. Like, just use Subscribestar, which you're probably already using.
Right.
Just use the functionality within there to create different tier benefits.
The difference that makes locals win for me is that aside from being able to upload my videos like you do on YouTube, aside from being able to live stream like you do on YouTube, the forum itself is basically the way they've stated it is I can post on the forum, again, for members, which you have to join my community to see. You can't just surf the web like you do on Twitter or Facebook and get a link to my community. It's blanked off.
But here's the issue. So you're going to go to this new community. You're going to create this new community with your existing YouTube supporters. But what happens as over time you want to bring in new blood into the community? How are you going to bring in new blood?
By live streaming to all the other TF talking about.
Frankly, I mean, the sad thing is I rely on you guys for that, because I'm so far off in the woods that no one will ever find me. Like, I need you guys to bring in the fresh bloods. They eventually might find the breadcrumbs and lead them to me.
Right. Now, that's why one of the things I'm going to be doing is posting to Rumble and posting to Library and Odyssey, because and BitChute probably as long as I can, because those three have the highest view counts. And so my screen, everything that I do is, guys, if you enjoy the content, join me over here, Free Speech Forums. You can post anything. You can talk about the bug. You can talk about the jab. You can talk about conspiracy theories. You can talk about anything.
Don't worry, Pop used the F word. We can use whatever words you want now.
Well,
I a couple F words.
But
I just got a message from Amir. He says, he asks, how much percentage are they taking from you for all of the tips that they give you, like through the coins?
Super chat?
Like that part I have to break down because I haven't purchased any coins. So I've never gone and purchased some and see how many coins I get for how much money. Because I started locals last year in June. I didn't push it until 2 months ago. So because it was kind of like, oh, here's another backup for me. I've got Library, I've got Rumble, I've got BitChute, and I've got this. And then depending on what starts to fall apart, well, since I can email a rep at locals and I hear back from her in usually an hour or two. And the thing that's important for me is I want to be able to hear from my community. So if I log into my locals page, I can start scrolling through and people can post their own content. So if they come across a story they want to share, if they want to post a video they want to share, they can upload their own videos. And the reason why that's so important is because as we get into the bushes here and things start getting a little bit rough, if somebody has live video of someone getting their head kicked in Australia and they want to post it on my locals page, they can, and they can set it to supporters only too. So that way I can see it and all the other supporters can see it, but the members can't. Members cannot post on the forums.
Another thing I wanted to bring up was no one's brought up TikTok, and TikTok is blowing up.
Let me get to that later here. I do want to talk to the grumpiest oldest man in the family here. That would be Popp and his handler Blake. What alternative? Because you guys are more or less, YouTube is giving you the shaking of the finger and the tisk tisk tisk. What are you guys using for alternative platforms?
Oh shit,
we're on a ton.
All right, hang on.
The main ones, of course, like everybody's mentioned, BitChute, Odyssey. As far as live streaming goes, DLive, Odyssey, of course.
You guys are on Rumble.
Yeah, we're on Rumble.
Okay.
We're on Brighteon.
I got a list right here.
Go for it.
YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey Library, MGTOW TV, Rumble, Minds, DTube, Brighteon, RoxyTube, BitTube TV, GVid, BitLeak, Minds, Zephyla, Facebook,
Jesus.
Twitch, Instagram, DLive.
I think
And you got to upload that individually, or maybe there's a universal
Well,
upload that takes care of 8 of them, or what?
No, we got a helper that does about a third. I upload to 3 or 4 platforms virtually every day.
Yeah, MG handles a lot of the lesser platforms as far as like the main platforms
that woman,
we have.
That woman is a lifesaver, and you
She's
know
a
what?
Machine.
Well, I said that woman.
Yeah, she's a machine.
Yeah, she's a machine, man. And you know, maybe we'll try to recruit a couple other people into the family, to the fold, because you know we could definitely use the help.
Celestina has an Instagram if that's worth anything.
Like if there's any, like if I come across any old Intel guys that are retired and they're sick of the shit and they want to actually link up with a military guy to help fight back, I'll interview them and see if they're, you know, if they can help us out or not.
Another thing we need to really think about is recruiting new talent. Like, how do we, like, we're all in our 40s. Like, how do we bring in people that are in their 20s and 30s?
Not my concern. I'm going to die in about 25 years. I don't give a shit. You guys are.
No.
You guys have that. Sandman, you're a better man than me. I don't care. I'm out.
Listen, I'm all about that. You know,
we actually have one of our biggest fans now. I was just talking to him the other day. He's 19.
Yeah.
He's been watching since he was 16 in high school, and he was spreading this shit around to his buddies in high school.
Yeah.
Memes are now making it onto.
When I served in the military, every posting that I ever had, I always trained the people underneath me to do my job and then go up the ladder and do great things. And I have no problem trying to help younger guys break through the ceiling to come into the open and do what they're going to do. I have no problem with that at all.
Let me throw this in real quick while I think of it. Number one, a lot of this has to be, for some of us at least, needs to be automated, because for me personally, my bandwidth, literally uploading certain amounts, I do have a data cap. That may be going away, but if it's one thing where I can stream it and use X amount of bandwidth and have that split amongst, which was nice, like with library scraping my YouTube, is it all happened on the back end. So it wasn't my bandwidth being used. The second thing is it's a diminishing returns. The more people we have helping us edit, upload, manage this stuff, the more it's going to cost us to do this, which means we need to make more money to be able to afford them and still pay our own bills. And the third thing is, as far as TikTok, Fresh and Fit and a couple other creators have put stuff out there that was relatively mild. Like, here's why you don't want to date single mothers. Boom, taken. If you can't talk about not dating single moms, you're not going to be able to talk about Jack.
We should have brought Hammerhand in here. Hammerhand has been killing it on TikTok, and then he just mirrors everything on YouTube, and his channel on YouTube has exploded. Like the number of, he was posting like 7 or 8 or 9 videos a day, little videos. The
reason why that's exploding right now is because he's using what they call shorts, and shorts is being super pushed really hard by YouTube. I did one that was just like, hey, here's a truck yard. Look at all these trucks that don't have sensors. 1 minute video, snap, 750,000 views. So
what?
It's artificially inflated for now. But that's not going to last forever. They used to
need to get on board with that.
Yeah, they used to do the same thing with community posts. They always kind of take a here's our new thing we're trying to push. So they super push it. That's why he's kind of blowing up. The problem is there's no super chats. There's no commercials.
No, it's monetized now. It's monetized now.
I said it.
Wait, TikTok?
No. TikTok. So YouTube Shorts was monetized, I think, like a week ago.
Okay,
so Popp. If you guys, what you guys can do is you can take a segment that's like 4 minutes and then take the juiciest minute and a half and use that as your TikTok.
I don't, you have to look into how to do that, because as far as I know, you got to do it. You got to do it horizontal, right? You can't do it. Oh, sorry, vertical. You got to do it vertical. So you'd have to render it as a vertical video, short, minute and a half. That's not going to take very long. But I know, but
it's territory.
Yeah. I think you only have the option to do shorts from a phone. I don't think you can upload a short.
But can't you download the phone? Can't you download from your computer onto your phone?
Transfer the MP4 to your phone.
No, because it's done in their own app. Because I did a short. You literally have to open YouTube and then open Shorts link that opens their own camera app.
God,
record in, and then you release it. You can't thumbnail it. You can't. I think you might be able to bring up a text box to write stuff over it, and then you hit post and it uploads. There is no. They did it specifically so that you can't do anything edited. It's got to be straight from your phone.
Let me provide a little bit editorial.
A Chinese company that's notorious for spying and stealing information.
Look, TikTok. I wanted to add TikTok yesterday, and it asked me, "Do you want to log in with your Facebook user password?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to give the Chinese government my password."
They already have.
Oh, why you no trust China? China don't do anything.
Look, I wouldn't doubt if you install TikTok on your phone, you're already toast.
Look, the Chinese government has said that lying flat is basically going to be banned. Lying flat is their version of MGTOW, right? So the people in China are being passive aggressive now. Anyway,
Popp, go ahead, Popp.
Lying flat is the equivalent of MGTOW, but in China.
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm
glad we got Popp here. Thanks for keeping him on a leash there, Blake. I'm glad we got Socrates over here.
I thought lying flat, you didn't get a third date.
You're doing the Saddam Hussein lay down.
Let me point this about TikTok, because Sandman, you were concerned about like how do we get younger people, and I think sex drive will drive men to this sphere of the world, so I'm not terribly worried about it. But TikTok does skew younger if you look at the demographics of what different platforms younger. TikTok is obviously younger. I think anybody listening, you probably should have a TikTok. And I'll be perfectly honest, I just started about a week ago because I was on vacation. I was bored, and it just. You film it, boo, blah, blah, blah. And I think TikTok is fertile ground. I did get one video taken down because of hate speech. Because I was speaking the truth. I can't even remember what it was. But so far, like 15 out of 16 videos are still up there. And if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's old man who yells at clouds. That's my
my only with that is for me, I think, me personally, that's going the wrong direction.
Why so?
Because it's like, well, because of censorship, we're not going to have to go underground. But let's install this app from China where the Chinese government can have access to your IP address, your location, we
don't do anything with your information. We just want to watch video with you.
Did you guys see the flooding, and did you see the flowers, like hundreds of bouquets of flowers for the victims? And they only said 5 people died. And then the Chinese government put up the walls around the flowers so nobody could see how many flowers there were.
Yeah.
And then the people took them down, and then the government put them back up. And so there's just this game to take the book. Anyway,
you guys are watching way too much news. You should just not watch the news like I do and be completely ignorant. Like I didn't even know the Olympics were going on until be like, hey, did you think? Yeah. Okay. So
I think we need.
I'm just saying.
We need to decide whether we're going to water our content down in order to appeal to a broader audience, or if we're going to go underground where we can speak freely. Like it's one or the other.
No,
you can't have it both ways.
Let me pause you here for a second. Okay. So on locals, for my subscribers, I curse like a sailor. I joke. I read all the news about whatever I want to. And even if it's like literally conspiracy stuff, like I went down the weeds the other day and had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
For my supporters only, it's closed. It's walled off. I can do very deep conversations and very interesting things. For my YouTube channel, those videos do not make it to YouTube. For YouTube, I'm like, here's another 35-year-old mother that waited until she was too late.
Mia Khalifa.
The thing is, it's kind of like YouTube has become my commercial of, hey, here's a silly story. Here's women behaving badly. Here's this, here's that. And if you want to see the real good stuff, join me on Locals. And then I have gotten so many, like hundreds of messages of people saying, dude, this is a great community. And not because of what I'm doing, well, maybe a little bit, but mostly because they get on there and they're like, I had no idea this was happening in Australia. Our local news isn't showing that. I never saw this video of this because someone will put it on Twitter. I'll scrape it. I download it, and then Twitter yanks it, but I've got it. And I can put it over there and it's safe and people can read through the forums. I now have, I want to say I'm getting 4,000 or 5,000 post views a day. And they don't always tip you. They don't always, like, it's not always about making the money for your work. It's also about look, there's a lot of crap going on, and we got to talk about this. And if the content is good, even if it's not about Manosphere stuff or MGTOW, if you're talking about things that people go, man, I needed to know that, and I haven't seen this in the news, and I need to pay attention to this stuff, that is just as much likely to have somebody say, you know what, this is worth a subscription, or this is worth the effort that you're putting into it, because I value this enough for 13 cents a day, which is what $5 a month comes to. So that you can put your real serious non-watered down stuff there. You can live stream and not do watered down stuff. And then you can stay on platforms like YouTube and whatever else and do your watered down, like silly crap that I talk about half the time, just to kind of entertain people, maybe get a little ad revenue and keep pointing them into your cave.
This is a very good strategy.
This is the real
I think
stuff.
Here's another problem. So what's happening with Fresh and Fit, for example? Their channel's blown up. But here's what I've noticed. So what happens with Manosphere channels is they blow up for about a year and a half, and then YouTube starts to bring them down. So it's important for us to contact people like Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit and say, look what's happened to us. We started off really strong, and then they suppressed us. It's going to happen to you too. So you need to, while you're still strong, you need to move your people over to the other platforms. Sure, you're going to take a cut on the ad revenue now, but you're going to move more of your audience over to another platform
while you're blowing up. Yeah.
And then if we tell them that, you know, say Fresh and Fit moves to one of the platforms that we're on, then they're going to find us. So we're helping each other over the long run.
Right. And the other thing Locals is ready to do, and this is really key. So I had this video call with the representative from Locals. The other thing she's going to do is she's going to let people make a consortium, as it were, or a group. So let's say the 5 of us decide, hey, you know what? Let's all make a group where you can purchase the Manosphere channel, and it'll get all 5 of us. And you can do that instead of $5 a month for me and $5 for Popp and $5 for Cappy. You can maybe do $20 or $15 or $18, whatever we decide on, and get all, like, be a supporter of all 5 channels.
So you're talking about putting together a man's network.
Yeah.
The Avengers Unite.
Red Pill Plus. No, listen. Red Pill Plus.
Now,
I've been trying to get this done for years. I really have.
Here's the other thing. On Locals, you can easily do a stream with other content creators. And so I can message Cappy and say, hey, dude, I'm doing a live stream. Your
Still
community
haven't followed me back. I'm very hurt about that. I'm on Locals. You haven't followed me back. But that's all right. That's all right.
So last I heard your video, I know you were saying, like, I'm going to check it out. And I didn't know you had actually made it
That's
yet.
all right. I friended you, and it was lost in the thousands. That's okay. I'll just code.
Honestly, I get probably 500 notifications a day, so I don't see it. But here's the thing. If I decide to do a live stream and Cappy's going to do a live stream with me, it live streams to both our communities at the same time. And now I don't know how many people can jump in on that, but we might be doing a live stream like this, and everybody on each one of our individual subscribers will be able to see the content on their own page. Locals is really doing some cool stuff, but they're still building. They've only been around for roughly 8 years.
Is this Jordan Peterson tube that he started with Dave Rubin?
I believe, I know Dave Rubin is big on it. I don't know if Jordan Peterson's in on this as well. I do know this is one of Dave's babies, so it might be.
It was a brainchild of Rubin and Peterson, but Peterson has been off in the weeds for the past 1.5 years because of medical issues and shit.
So, but because of the community, thank you for telling me that, by the way, Popp. I did not know that Peterson was in on this, but because they're still in a very big growth phase, she will have a call with me and she says, here's what we've implemented. And I say, hey, on the right-hand side, can we maybe look at doing a design for a hot link or a bar that will do X and help you find other communities? She says, yes, let me take that to the meeting and I'll discuss it with them. So not only is it, I mean, you've got Stefan Molyneux, Paul Joseph Watson over there. You've got Tulsi Gabbard's over there. You've got Scott Adams over there. There's some big names involved, but they will draw them to Locals. And then to find, like, if you go to the recommended page, I'm on there at, like, next to Tulsi Gabbard and Stefan Molyneux.
Wow.
So Locals, I think, is going to be, that's going to be your battleship, so to speak. And then when you do a live stream, as I said, right now, you can only do it in their one window. But when you do a live stream, if you have a camera that you can split off, you can have one streaming out and the other one just doing this community, or you can record it. And I'm going to be doing a live stream like TFM does probably, and I'll record it. And then I can upload it as a video just post it, but you can turn on live chat. So your members or your supporters can still talk, even though you're not doing it live. They can still talk. And what's interesting is after I've posted a video, I go off and do my thing for the day. I come back and I might have 700 coin tips on a video I posted. They can tip after the live stream's done. That's $70 just for me uploading a video. And that could be from members. That could be for supporters. So I'm not saying it's the end all to be all. And I'm for me, I'm less like, I want to make enough that I can keep doing this. I'm not worried about becoming rich. And I think that's how all of us are here. So the big thing is it's allowing me, it gives you just so many options of doing things that I feel like locals is going to be my battleship. YouTube is going to be my advertising, where I put out short clips or I put out very clean content. And then if we do like TFM suggested and do a live stream once a week or every so many days and have that go out to all these feeders. And on those feeders, you're saying, hey guys, you know what, for the cost of a live stream donation of $5, instead of tipping me here, join me on Locals, and you can post on the forums and you can post and comment and upload your own videos and upload your own content. That is huge. And I think that's the way people are going to go when everybody else says everything I post on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter is getting deleted, but I want a home to talk to other people. Imagine a live chat going all the time. Imagine Facebook posts going all the time. Imagine upload. It's an incredible.
Imagine if you had a different live stream every, say, 3 or 4 days, but we did this 5 of us, and then we went off and did another live stream with another 4 people, and we all networked it, and then we get the network effect going. And once you get that network effect going, then we get discovery. We can spread discovery on all of those platforms.
Right. And that I think is the key to this. Is it's going to be less. I think as we move forward, I'm not just talking from a business sense. I'm talking from a internet sense, where I'm moving away from just manosphere content. Yeah. I'm now moving into, like, every day I do a live stream every day. Every morning I sit down with my cup of coffee. I've only done it 3 days in a row, but I plan to do it every day. And I read news stories from the previous day. That's why I know about what's going on in France and Italy. And I scrape the web. I look it up. I do a news live stream. That has been one of the most popular things I've done. And it has nothing to do with men and dating and screw women and this.
Well, you're red pilling people about the government. That's pretty much what it's about.
Right. And as people get removed from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc., they're still going to want to know what's going on, and they still are going to want to share. That's what my Locals community is about. It is one of the biggest pushes I'm talking about with my channel. Is it's a free speech forum, and the only moderator, you can't upload spicy, porn and all that stuff. I said, if you get, don't be out here talking about crazy, like Nazis are great and everybody. I just say, look, if you're gonna talk about any topic, just understand people may burn you down to the ground and yell at you, but I'm not removing it. I am the moderator. If it gets past their scraper, which is very mild, it's just making sure you're not like filming an hour worth of streaming porn. If somebody flags a post and says this is hate speech or I don't like it, I get a notification. I look at it and I say, ignore. That's done. There's no to oversee me. But if there is something that I look on there and go, yeah, that's kind of some heinous shit, I get it, I can remove it and I can delete it. Other times I've gone in and I can edit their posts. So I'll go in and I say, just so you guys know, I've removed an image and it's only happened like 3 times out of 50,000 posts. I said, I've removed an image because, it got a little spicy. And there are women in this community too. And because they're there for the news and for supporting men. And like, I really think Locals is going to be the battleship. YouTube is the advertiser. And then all these others are going to be like lifeboats that we're scattering out amongst. And I think Locals is where it's at. I'm all in on it.
I'm glad we got that. Let me get Sandman his little input here, because I kind of want to know. Sandman, you're on YouTube, and frankly, I'm surprised you haven't gotten kicked off yet. No, I'm being deadly serious. But what are you doing to diversify your platform?
So I'm on Odyssey. I just got up to around 2,100 subscribers there. I've got 20,000 on BitChute. I'm posting on MGTOW.tv. I'm also reposting on Minds. I was posting on Gab for some reason. Gab has blocked me. Like, I've been trying to get on through my cell phone, through my computer. I don't know if it's my IP because I changed internet service providers.
Welcome to the club, man.
Well, you've been blocked from Gab too?
Yes, our original Gab account was blocked by 4 or 5 months ago. No reason given. No email.
I can't even
saying,
find my
"Hey,
content on there.
you guys screwed up." Nothing. It was just gone.
Yeah. So I've stopped promoting it, and I can't post anything there anymore. So that's that. And then
all of them, I thought Gab would have been one of the safer ones.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Gab is messed up. Like, you go to the homepage, I can't even see any of the stuff that I used to be able to see. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. Other platforms, Manosphere.tv. Amir's just telling me to plug it again here.
Good old, we should have had him on. He would have. I apologize to Amir. He's listening. I'm sorry, Amir. We should have had you on because he's
so he's trying to get everybody over on Manosphere.tv that doesn't want to go on to MGTOW.tv. And that's a good idea, but the problem is, if I post on MGTOW.tv and Manosphere, I have to upload to both of them, and I upload to MGTOW.tv. There's more of an audience there. There's more of a network effect going there. Like, say Cappy and Joker, if you guys started posting on MGTOW.tv, that would get the network effect going a little bit more.
I think they hate me there, to be honest. Hammerhand has laid into me a couple times because I'm like, I don't think you should hate women. And, I think women should have some rights. And they're like, I'm just like, okay,
whatever.
Don't get TFM started about women's rights. That's just
like Popp, TFM, and myself are the 3 largest channels on there. So like, you're not gonna, don't worry about some of the smaller channels bugging you for now, right? Although I think Hammerhand, if he keeps go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, all right, so you're on MGTOW TV and all that, but thankfully you still have your own YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I've got my YouTube channel. It's been heavily throttled. Like, today's video, like some days I'll get almost as many views on BitChute that I do on YouTube.
Same here.
And I got 200,000 subscribers, and then BitChute's only got 20,000, and they're getting almost the same number of subscribers.
Let me jump in and add to that. So my videos, I want to say about a year ago, maybe 9 months ago. Yeah, 6 months ago, something like that, around Christmas time. I checked some of my older videos. I think my highest video has got like 1.4 million views on it. And I was getting about 30,000 subs like clockwork right up until January, February. And then I dropped down to about 3,000 subs. So I got literally 10%. And my monetization dropped off a cliff. And my views went from easily 300,000 a video. I'm lucky now if I break 100. Yeah. So they've gone through and there's some back flags in the back that have been thrown. And it's another reason why it's not quite so painful for me to lose, because I've lost my shirt when it comes to money and all that.
And this is my prediction about YouTube, and it actually is quite apolitical and somewhat tragic, but I think YouTube is just going to be a TV. Like I said, it's TV. It's going to be rated G, and anything interesting or intellectual or saucy or controversial is going to be, and so it is inevitably a slowly sinking ship. So whether you're
the shorts, the YouTube Shorts thing is an example of them responding to TikTok. Because they're scared, not because they're innovating. They're trying to protect their brand. Yeah. Right.
Well, and what's sad is, I hate to say, maybe I'm in the minority here, but YouTube, it's like, I love the platform. Yeah. It works. I wish they I don't have to get StreamYard, but it works. They monetize. I got super chats. I could do live streaming. They store it. And I'm just like, gee whiz, could you just not spend 40% of your operating expenses on censors? And I understand, kick out the pedophiles and the Nazis and, the drunk army men who live over in Detroit. Kick those guys out. But
look, you can legit open a VPN to somewhere over in I think it was Norway. I did it once because somebody's like, yeah, just go watch naked yoga on YouTube, and I'm like, what? So open a VPN over to Sweden or Norway, and you just type in naked yoga. You can watch like 30 minutes or an hour of women completely naked doing all these yoga poses. And we're talking about leg lifts, and you get the and I'm just like, that's okay. But if I want to shit on Karen because she's 35 and slept with 150 dudes and she can't find anybody to love her, that's not okay. Like, what?
Right, exactly. And that's why I'm saying is I've always said, like, YouTube is increasingly becoming the bipolar girlfriend, where you don't know what the next day is going to be like. And I love the operational efficiency of YouTube. I do. And I don't think I'd be here without YouTube, but at the same time, it is so tedious. And Joker, I think you're very aligned with this. I'm sick and tired of watching my speech because this reminds me of parochial school back in the 4th grade, where if I said darn or fart, I'm going to get like suspension or something.
Man, I did a video and I was like,
get the fudge out of here.
I think, and I had to edit it because I said, man, at that point you're shooting yourself in the foot because I said the word shooting. I'm like, I can't do this anymore because I'm it's not even about my content anymore. It's that I'm sitting here saying bug and jab. The other day I'm talking to my mother and she said something or other. And I said, oh, the bug's gone crazy. And I don't know why everybody's afraid of the jab. She's like, what are you talking about?
You know what? I'll one up you. I'll one up you because you guys know Atham? You guys know, watch the show Atham? He's a buddy of mine. He happens to be Mexican. You can't write Mexican in the super chats.
What?
You cannot. You have to spell MESC Mexican. And because I don't know, like I'm just like, this is ludicrous. This is so childish. Where it's like, no, I'm done. So I've already known this boat has been sinking. But when I can't have a fellow Mexican, I'm not Mexican, but I can't have an actual Mexican spell Mexican in the bleeping content or the chat room. It's like, all right, you're obviously going to impair good conversation, good content creation with Nazi-esque level of
censorship,
grammar Nazism. I just like, no, I can't do it.
You want to know what YouTube wants? I have a channel that YouTube wants. It gives me $10 CPMs, right? It's insane. And it's just travel videos where I'm interviewing somebody that's the manager of like a wax museum or whatever. And that's what they want. They want it to look like television. They want it clean. And they want to be, they don't even like, they say, is this video ready for advertising? And I say, yes. And they're like, because you've been so accurate before, we won't even look at your video. We don't care. Like, you're so good. Like, that's what they want.
Yep.
So,
how my channel has been, I have not had a single one taken down, and I've been on the self-marking it's okay now for a year, and they still are shadow banning me or lessening it, and I'm on their good side.
We've been shadow banned since the whole incel MGTOW crackdown in 15?
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah, like we're getting our asses kicked over here at Redonkulous. Like,
but basically,
you guys started 3 channels. Now you got 3 YouTube channels now. What's up with that?
And while one of them, our main channel, it has 2 strikes on it. We got our second strike on June 26th. I submitted an appeal that day. Now here's the real kicker. They didn't give us a strike for any of the content that's actually in the video. They gave us a strike for violating their amorphous community guidelines for exe udity violations because of an archived link in the description.
That's what I got with the sex dolls thing. Yep. Same thing.
Here's the best part. The entire article is in the video, which was manually reviewed and approved for all advertisers. So they've just completely ignored our strike appeal and let it sit for over a month. They haven't addressed it.
Literally the same thing happened to me. I posted I did a video about how OnlyFans is trying to get away from adult content and filming of all these actresses.
Yeah,
I read the article, and below it I posted the link, and they gave me a strike because the link went to a porn site. Do you know what the link went to? Indeed.com, a business site that was talking about them trying to change their revenue.
Wow.
I'm like, you're going to tell me Indeed.com is, and I submitted a review, nothing. And I'm like, I can't even link to business articles now. I'm like, that was really the day that I'm like, I'm done with this shit.
So okay, hold on, because money's more important than all you people.
I have an interesting story. So
hang on, TFM. This is $100. Okay. The guy actually made $100 donation. Right. Screw you.
Right. To you, who cares?
And I'm trying to find it. I apologize, Rashad. Rashad Anderson donated $100. I'm trying to find it in the chat so I could pull it up, but I can't.
It says showing my appreciation for.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Showing my appreciation for all the knowledge each of you have given me. Hope I get to watch content from all of you in years to come. Well, thanks, Rashad. That's very nice.
Rashad,
No,
Rashad,
listen.
we're all going to
Okay,
be in
that's awesome.
All right, now TFM, what were you going
Okay.
to say? What?
So I ran into a similar issue. I was reviewing these sex doll torsos, and I was fingering their pussy on camera, and they dared give me an adult guideline strike for nudity. But I told them it's a torso, and they said, "Oh, okay." And then the strike went away.
It's like Silence of the Monkey Lambs.
I'm not kidding. TFM, that made my life worth living. Like the fact I got to know you, and then you have a sex doll, and that is a story. Like,
Hey man, I got two. I got two.
I always get a strike on they basically say the thumbnail violates their nudity standards. I tell them, oh, it's okay, it's a sex doll, and they immediately rescind the strike within 5 minutes. Like no ends your butt. So as long as you're just finger banging sex dolls on YouTube, it's okay.
We got a friggin' strike for the one tit wonder thumbnail because I used literally a fake silicone tit as the O in redonkulous.com.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I was reviewing some sex toy, and it looked like the Sarlacc pit, like the actual toy. So on the thumbnail, I photoshopped a Boba Fett helmet onto my little monkey avatar, and I had like Boba Fett's gun, and I had the barrel for the sight at right where the butthole was. So the scope and the butthole perfectly aligned in like a little circle. And they said that thumbnail was nudity because the Boba Fett scope was the butthole.
Jesus.
You know, like, but then I just told them, hey, it's just a scope, man. It's a sex toy, and they're like, "Oh, okay, never mind. You're fine as long as it's just sex toys." Carry on.
You can finger a sex doll on YouTube, no problem. But if you happen to call Karen a bitch, it's over. I
could be like fucking two in the pussy, pinky in the butthole, rubbing the clit with the thumb, just giving her the Spider-Man, and no problem. But you talk about women's rights. Fucking game over.
No.
All right. We're at the 2 hour 5 minute mark, and and Pop's got to go to bed because this passes Metal Mucil time.
Come on, bullshit.
No, he doesn't do Metamucil. He does double coffee in the morning.
Oh, okay.
He does double defecation in the afternoon.
Correct.
Let's go through we'll go clockwise. And I want you guys to plug your stuff because and I want to thank everybody for coming on. Sandman and TFM especially because you guys are kind of on the front lines there, and the Joker as well with you taking the balls to.
What about Popp?
Fuck Popp. Nobody likes Popp. He's like Milhouse. Nobody likes Milhouse.
Man, Pop's been on the front lines longer than me. I was YouTube's poster boy until about 15 hot minutes ago. So,
well, Aaron, when did you? Popp started like I think 6 months before that. Before I did. When did you start, Aaron?
What, on YouTube?
Yeah.
I technically started like in 2010, but I didn't really do anything. Maybe 2013, 2012 is when I really kind of started doing regular stuff. But wait a minute, now I think about it, Asshole Consulting is almost 8 years old. So yeah, it was 2013, 2014 is when I started regularly using YouTube. But I don't think I predate Popp.
Yeah, he started 2013. I started late 2013, and then I saw you started doing like the requests around early 2014, around the time I did.
Yeah, it was March for 2014. So, all right, Popp, plug your shit, man.
I run redonkulous.com,
but it's not spelled the way that you think it's spelled.
No, it's spelled Popp way.
Yeah, REDONKULAS Listexia, like a mother fornicator.
Hey, it works.
Yeah,
I got a .com. What do you want from me?
What about, you got a book though too, a series of books, right?
I got 3 books out now. I got Warrior's Way and the Soldier's Soul, which is a philosophy book on basically the warrior mindset. And then I wrote 2 fiction books. The Jericho Files. It's about a psychic who hunts serial killers and wipes them out.
I got to call it out. Sydney MGTOW in the chat.
Yo, Sydney.
All right.
Just donated $100 Australian dollars.
Sydney was one of the first guys that Sydney, TFM, and Sandman were like literally the first 3 MGTOW guys that I found on YouTube. Like,
does he have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's Sydney MGTOW. Yeah.
Sydney Migdal. Okay, everyone tune in because Blake was telling me about him. Like, oh yeah, we had Sydney. I'm who the fuck is Sydney? Like, oh, he's going down. So I'm like, fuck that guy. He's Australian. I'm like, all right, we'll tune into him.
He used to read the articles like I do, but he'd do it on his phone, and he'd do a lady's voice. He'd be like, "Oh, and then this guy." I'm like, "Oh man, I gotta."
Did I pick up his shtick without even meaning to?
No. He started at we were before him, but he still puts out some good shit though.
Yeah,
not to
voice comes from a chick I used to date making fun of her friends. That's where my annoying chick voice comes from. Like, oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever listened to you guys know Rouge V, right?
Yeah.
And I whatever your opinion is about him, I have a high regard for him. No matter what path he happens to go down, I wish him the best. But one of the things I love the most is he narrates his own voice, or he narrates his own books. And when he does girls, he does this, and it's freaking hilarious hearing this Persian guy do a female voice. It actually is really funny.
He's gone from the manosphere to the orthosphere. So he's like the Orthodox Christianity,
Orthodox cat, right? Yeah, and I wish him the best. But one of the funniest things I remember I was driving on Highway Interstate 10 in Arizona, where it cuts over from the Phoenix. What is that? 25. I can't remember what the interstate is, but I'm laughing in the middle of the desert because they're like, oh my god, I'm like picturing this bearded, hairy Persian doing. So we wish the best to Rouge. All right, so you got those books. Anything else there, Popp?
We are putting together basically the unconventional warfare of the internet. And I'm waging war, trying to get the ideas and news out there to the masses.
Yeah. Administrative violence now has been in pre-production for about 6 months, and we're about ready to pull the trigger on that. It's going to be a 3 to 4 hour long webinar teaching you how to handle this stuff in regards to like the internet, divorce, military, business.
What platform?
It's going to be out there on Kajabi, actually, because
okay.
Teachable will ban people. We found out. So.
I found, I'm on Teachable as well, and I got to keep it kind of pretty clean. But thankfully, I'm in finance. All right, TFM, what's up?
All right, so I am also an author. I've written The Doll on My Balls. The Doll on My Balls Rides Again. Sweet Corn and Ass, and I also wrote The Way of Monkey book, which is and the 13 Rules to Not Be a Fucking Cuck.
Oh, I like it.
Very proud of that book.
The two last ones, not The Doll on My Balls, but I have read both of the serious pieces you've written. The Way of Monkey book is very good, actually, and that has helped me visualize and realize things that I should probably be more mature about. But yes, if you are angstful, please go get The Way of Monkey book. That is a very good Western interpretation of Eastern philosophy, should we say?
Yeah, it's my own personal philosophy, which is a mix of Taoism and Zen Buddhism, along with existentialism, Platonism, and Stoicism. So, but it's written in the style. But it's written in the style of like the Tao Te Ching. So it's written in like an old kind of if you ever heard the Tao Te Ching or the Chuangzi, it's written in that style, but it's my own personal philosophy kind of written in that style.
And someone that we should promote now, because we have 1,000 people tuning in, if subscribe, all that other stuff. But Espinoza, that is an underrated philosopher who I don't know why he's not more. But
do you mean Baruch Spinoza, or do you mean
Spinoza? Yeah, you're a follower of his.
Well, he kind of set me on the path. So I was looking for, because I don't want to. We all got to go to bed. It's past our bedtime.
Right. Just
I don't want to get into it.
Plug. That's all.
Yeah. Well, there's no short way to get it. Anyway, so the problem is when you take a big bird's eye view of society, a lot of it is driven by values which are codified in religious precepts and dogmas. And so there's really no way to solve one without addressing the other. So when you're trying to figure out where these values come from, why can't we talk about, why can't we address these problems? A lot of them are because of religious tradition. So Baruch Spinoza, he was a philosopher who tried to kind of bring Christianity and Western religion make it more harmonious with different values. He failed utterly. So, but from that, you know, I kind of like got onto the path more towards Taoism and Zen Buddhism, which are a lot more closer to my personal values. So it's not about, most people just follow whatever religion they were raised with. They don't even question whether it's compatible with their own personal values. But it's actually much more therapeutic to think about what you believe and what your values are and find a religion that corresponds with that, rather than just mindlessly follow what your parents raised you as.
Correct. Now I tune into you on BitChute. But you drop them kind of irregularly. Where do people tune into you regularly if they want to get?
That's not my fault. So BitChute, it's a crapshoot. I upload everything to BitChute, but sometimes it just doesn't fucking work. So I upload it, I click publish, and then I just get an error message.
Processing hell.
Yeah, it goes into fucking like processing limbo, or I get a little ninja error message. So I just.
And the longer the video, the more fucked you are. Yeah, it's
right.
It's
really
bad.
I give it 2 chances. I upload it twice, and then I just walk away. So MGTOW.TV, Odyssey, and PeerTube, everything works 100% of the time. BitChute, it's a coin toss. I like BitChute. I've been supporting Ray from the beginning. In fact, I have more of my subscribers are on BitChute than any other platform, but the fucking website doesn't work. So I just have to roll with the punches and hope the website works eventually.
Let me ask you, TFM, because I had the same experience until very recently. Now I'm seeing that it's actually being more functional. Are you by any chance just uploading your videos how you record them, or are you processing them through something like Handbrake?
Well, I record as I stream. So I hit both buttons. So while I'm streaming, I'm also recording. So when the stream is over, it generates an MP4, which I upload.
All right. How big is the file that you upload to BitChute?
It's not that big. It's only a couple gigs, because even though they're 6 hour, they're 6 hour streams.
That's a big file for BitChute. BitChute has a high up. Yeah, I cut mine down. It used to be like half a gig, and now I cut it down to like 100 to 200 megabytes, and it goes up pretty quick. Well, and it doesn't cause problems.
Okay,
anyone out there who's a creator, just download Handbrake. It's free, open sourceware. Handbrake spelled like you would if you were stopping a car. Process anything that you record, even if it's directly through your OBS, through that, and set it to like the very fast 720p thing, and you will have no problems whatsoever with BitChute.
But I already stream and record at a very low bit rate and very low frames per second. So it's not the file size; it's whatever. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Here's the thing: back when BitChute was the only game in town, it was basically YouTube and BitChute. I was willing to tolerate just having to upload and re-upload and re-upload until it eventually, the gods of BitChute decided to grant my supplication. Now that we have Odyssey and MGTOW.TV and PeerTube, I upload to those 3. I give BitChute a chance, and when it doesn't work, I just move forward. So if you follow me on BitChute and you notice like there's a lot of streams missing, a lot of videos missing, it's because they weren't uploading. But
right, okay, so then we go PeerTube. If we want to find this PeerTube, MGTOW TV, we can find all your archive stuff there.
So PeerTube is basically based on the same infrastructure as library/Odyssey. I just use a Russian instance in case Odyssey fucks with me. It's all about redundancy. But MGTOW.TV, PeerTube, and Odyssey are where I upload everything. Now, when it comes to my Sextro reviews, they don't like my Sextro reviews. I have to mark those as mature. When you mark a video as mature, it filters it out of Odyssey. So you have to actually download the library app to actually find my mature videos.
That's why I can't see you on Odyssey.
Okay, all right. This is becoming like asking my mom a question. Okay. So, all right, we got it. All right, PeerTube.
You never call.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. We got it.
You son of a bitch!
You never call me. You put my.
Why don't you call your stepfather?
Left you a voicemail, and there was a nice girl.
You a son of a bitch! Oh wait,
Joker, go,
sir. betterbachelor.locals.com. You can become a member there. It's free. You'll see probably my normal stuff that I'd put on YouTube, which is pretty tame. It's I watch my language, normal stuff. If you support for $5 a month, you get to see all the videos where I curse and talk about crazy stuff, and you get to see my news. I do a news video every day about usually it's probably going to be a live stream here pretty soon about modern news stuff. And then my backups are going to be Rumble. and Odyssey or library. But everything will definitely make it onto locals, and that's I'm putting all my marbles or all my eggs in that basket, and then the other two will be my side hustle. And then if you're still on YouTube, I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
That's my
Then there's me. I will shamelessly plug this. Hey, Sandman, you read this one yet?
I have yet to read that one. No,
I'm not even going to pay you to read that. Hey, there you go, Pop. Hey, are you in this one, Pop?
You know what, Cappy? You know what? I had so many people that are like, dude, is that a dick hanging between her legs?
And I kept it there because people keep asking about it. So
the foot was just crazy placement on that.
You know where people's dirty mind is, right?
That's right. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Anyway, Sandman, go honest to God, man. It's right up your alley.
Look, but I will review the book at some point. I've just been diddling around with other shit. So anyway,
it's on audio too if you want that. So
yeah. So anyway, yeah, in terms of my own promotion, I'm obviously on BitChute, and I've already talked about all the platforms. I'm like Odyssey, BitChute are my main ones, MGTOW.tv, and YouTube is declining. So, but besides that, I kind of have an observation for everybody how we're all coping with this insanity in our world. And, so I look at Cappy, and he's traveling, doing the road trip thing to kind of get his mind off of all the bullshit that's going on in the world. Popp is living in a liquor store surrounded by booze, right? So that's how he's
the sword room, right, bro?
And that's only some of the booze that we have in this studio, man.
I've seen the bag collected with all the trash but it's a coping strategy, right? So TFM's coping with the sex dolls, right? So that
I'm not coping, I'm thriving. Get your facts straight.
Right?
I got a 10 out of 10 waifus. Pussy spins at 400 RPM.
No. The spinning robot pussy is the bomb.
It's the greatest shit ever.
Look. That's going into my virtual sex.
Here's the problem. I gotta explain this to my dad. What do you do for a living? Well, watch this show, Dad, about the spinning robot pussy. Be proud of your son.
Wow.
Spinning robot pussy is our Lord and Savior.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
and I can see Better Bachelor. He's traveling around in Puff the Magic School Bus, and that's that's his cope. My cope is like nostalgia. I am now surrounded by like 300 GI Joe figures, and I'm building like a virtual army of little figurines. I don't know why I'm getting nostalgic for the past because the present and the future suck.
Yeah, that's when the last time life was good, when you were about 12. I mean,
life was good 10 years ago. Life was good 10 years ago. In the last 10 years, it's just society is just completely falling apart.
Well, all right, but people can find you YouTube Sandman, right?
Yeah, Sandman MGTOW on any of those platforms.
Okay,
and you'll be able to find me there. But anyway,
did you write a book or anything? Why do I have a feeling?
Look, I write every single script. It's the equivalent of 6 pages, and I write that every day. I have written the equivalent of 90 to 95 books that are 200 pages long in the last 8 years. So at some point, I will literally sell a volume that's like 150 pages.
Publish it before they take it down, man. Absolutely.
Look, it's all been saved. It's all there. I've got it all. So that's part of it. But one last question I want to ask everybody else. How are you guys dealing? Like we're waging information war, but how are we waging the financial war? Because look, I couldn't be able to do what I'm doing now unless I've been able to successfully wage the financial war with crypto and tech stocks and all right,
let's go. Let's go quickly through it because I want to go to bed. Go.
Sandman, send us an email, redonkulous12gmail.com. I would like to talk to you about the crypto thing one-on-one. Redonkulous12gmail.com.
Redonkulous12@gmail.com. Maybe we should stream this because I don't know. Maybe we can talk private stuff beforehand or after, and then we can stream stuff that would be public.
Okay, all right. We'll all have our gay sex later. All right, now.
Yeah, I got you.
Popp, go. What are you doing for the financial? Quick, 30 seconds.
Well, I'm retired from the military.
There, all right.
That's it.
Good. There you go. TFM.
I own my own business and I do investments. I don't do crypto though, so you don't want to. It's complicated.
We don't have to go in. I know your hatred for crypto, Joker.
I'm loaded up on crypto when it was cheap, and I'm buying land I'm buying property. That's where the
There you
rest
go.
of mine. I'm pulling everything out of the stock market before it falls off a cliff.
All right. And Sam and me, I have property. I don't have kids, never got married, got crypto, got silver, and I bought it when silver was like $9 an ounce. I'm
You suck.
fucking happier than shit.
What is it up to now?
Like 18.
40 a piece? Like, is it an ounce?
What?
Like, yeah,
No,
40 for physical.
It's like 18.
25 maybe.
No,
20?
that's the paper price. That's the paper price. If you want to go buy it physical, it was pushing 40. I don't know. I'd have to. Myron Gaines over
Fresh and fit.
Fresh
Let me
and
take a
Fit.
look.
Yeah, they wanted to know, and they were quoting him like 38, 39.
He just bought. I think CEO just bought a Lambo.
That's true.
Holy fucking shit! I'm looking at Canadian maples are $50. Like what is
$50? Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's Canadian though, right?
No,
what's
it's
the US?
42 US here. 42 plus.
Yeah, see,
plus
I told
shipping.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Holy.
The spot on silver is $25.59.
Yeah,
that's paper.
That's no. That's what. If you try to sell your silver, you're only going to get the spot. You're not going to get $50.
No, that's eBay. If I put it on eBay, I can get $43.
All right.
Yeah, there's two. There's the paper, like here's a silver certificate or like a claim on silver. That's 25.26. An actual physical ounce of silver.
Well,
When did this happen? I've got about 200 ounces of
That's
silver.
been happening like
Sure.
the past 6 months.
Shit.
Since
I mean,
money,
you could-
since money printer went burr.
selling stuff on eBay isn't the actual intrinsic value of an asset.
TFM, could you just not be a negative nanny and just let us enjoy the fact
right.
that we have valuable silver?
$50 an ounce.
God. Jeez, I listen to your podcast religiously. It's all dark and gloom. Can you just let us have one where it's like, yeah, we bought silver at 10, now it's 40. Let us rejoice.
What's the spot price on gold? Because I got
I don't know. Look it up. You got the internet in Canada.
shit.
Anyway.
All right. Now me plugging my shit. Everybody tuning in. Go get the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women.
Great
We
book.
have my consulting asshole. Oh, hey, that would remind me, Joker. I got to add. I got to do the Better Bachelor edition. So do you mind if I get a picture of you and put it on the Better Bachelor edition and release it then?
Oh, go ahead, man.
Okay, cool. All right. So that'll be coming out later.
I'll send you a
once I get
cool
up and-
picture if you want.
Yeah, and,
Well, I'll
Joker,
find something.
Joker, of all the wonderful dudes on this podcast, you were the only one that we have not had on our stream. We would love to invite you on. I believe I sent you an email, but you were probably doing your own thing. And
Man, I get so I put that email as my contact, and my God, I probably get 200 a day. So
Joker, here's the thing: you got to have like a private email that you just give to people that you need to contact to conduct business with. And that's what you
You
got to
can
do.
send the Redonkulous 12 Gmail. Send us your phone number, and we'll keep it on the wraps, and we can call you on the phone.
you guys should have it. You've emailed me before.
I've emailed you before, but we don't have like a phone number contact or anything, because
Okay.
you were one of the dudes who responded to our Tommy Lahren video, and I know that it hurts your soul to say Chad Thundercocks out loud, but that was hysterically funny.
Actually, you'd be surprised how many times I say Chad Thundercock on my private locals subscriber only.
Hey, you know what? That's all great. More about me and my shit that I got to sell. Thank you, everybody. All right. So I got assholeconsulting.com. What the fuck else?
Back at you for Blake has stinky feet as your coupon code.
Hey, no one signed up for that. I was upset. No one got Blake has stinky feet.
Seriously?
Yeah, no one signed up for that.
It's okay.
wow.
I was only embarrassed in front of like 58 dudes.
That's all right. Everyone was laughing. So.
The one thing I forgot to promote is I do these types of sessions, usually about an hour to 2 hours, and I talk to people one-on-one every day, pretty much.
Live on YouTube?
No, I don't record it, but I get on Skype and I have conversations with people like this.
Where do people go to your website then if they need consultation?
Sandmanmigtow@gmail.com. They can send me a message, and then that has been more than even like video requests and anything. That's what the most people have been requesting. They want to have like a one-on-one consultation. So, yesterday I had a consultation with somebody who wanted to buy tech stocks because they wanted to figure out how to get out of crypto and then what they were going to move into. And I said, here's the next rotation into tech stocks after crypto finishes its run by the end of the year. So, and I have a list of 20 stocks, and I broke down each one that I like and why I like it and why it's a monopoly and why it'll do well. So stuff like that.
Cool. Well, and then and you could always follow TFM's advice about converting everything to crypto because Bitcoin's going to the moon.
TFM is right about sector rotation. Crypto is just like sector rotation. You got
this was a joke. I was just trying to agitate TFM. That's all it was. So, all right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on the show. I appreciate all of your time. We do have this is like the Jose Canseco and Barry Bonds of the world's coming on here. And that's about it. Salmon, could you take us out the way you normally take yourself out?
So enjoy the rest of your day and cheers.